This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, December 8th. I am Tori here with Lindsay and Erica.
Ladies.
I've
been waiting to say that for like,
I was like
4 months to say
Erica,
that.
ladies. I'm so excited to have you both here. Very excited. I do want to get into this trial that's going on. We haven't really talked a lot about it. We got an update for you on the sex trafficking trial of Gelane Maxwell. So one of her accusers, who is going by Carolyn, testified that Maxwell felt her breasts and told her she had a great body for Epstein and his friends. She said she was paid $300 to visit Epstein's home every time she went there, and went more than 100 times between the ages of 14 and 18. Now, the prosecution also presented these new photos of Epstein and Maxwell together. Remember, photos are pretty rare of them, like these showing Maxwell massaging his feet. There are also more photos of them together, some kissing, which the prosecution says goes to show the nature of their relationship, characterizing them as, quote, partners in crime. Check out these photos of Epstein's massage room. This is the infamous room where several of his alleged victims said they were abused. Meantime, a woman named Sarah Ransom says she was recruited into Epstein's alleged sex ring in 2006, and she was on CBS this morning talking about her experience. Take a look.
I have so many examples of how Gelane not only tortured me and abused me, but other survivors. She grabbed my arm and marched me into Jeffrey's room, where I was then raped. So when she says that she had nothing to do and she had no idea, she was a facilitator. She was Jeffrey's right-hand woman. She orchestrated everything.
All right, it's interesting to me she's a woman, that we're talking about this partner in crime and who literally allegedly touched people, assaulted women, and she's a woman. You don't see that often, am I right? What do you think about her being a woman and how the trial is going? Please, Lindsay.
I think, you know, on the one hand, to hear her defense saying that she's being charged for Jeffrey Epstein's misdeeds and that she's a scapegoat, and then to hear these alleged victims, like Sarah Ransom, say that they came out because they're watching this trial and then also felt their secrets were weighing them down. She said, you know, you're only as sick as your secrets. That's something that really stuck out to me during that CBS interview. I think it's two totally different stories, and to just try to absolve yourself from everything going on with Jeffrey Epstein when we have these pictures and have people placing you at the scene of a lot of these alleged crimes. I think it's just we don't even know the extent to how many alleged victims there are out there. I think that this is just people who wanted to speak out, because if you listen to some of these people who are allegedly abused testimony, you know, there are obviously people who don't want to speak out because they might get shamed, like Sarah Ransom was shamed when she first came out. They said she wanted money and other things, and she said while she made some bad decisions, that doesn't mean she deserved to be raped, allegedly.
Of course
and
not.
So, you know, it's just tough to watch this play out, and then to see that a woman, the worst part for me is that there were young people involved, but any woman that enables another woman getting raped or sexually abused is disgusting.
I think so too. And Erica, they said, and I've gone into this, Jeffrey Epstein would have Gelane bring in multiple massages a day.
Yeah.
The sessions were almost unpleasurable. It was just like sex, 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 like an addict. What do you think?
It doesn't surprise me. Nothing that people do surprises me. There are women who are out there right now who are absolute sexual predators, especially when we're talking about people who aren't of the age of consent.
Yeah.
When you talked about shame, shame would probably be something that you would hope for on the worst end, because ultimately we're talking about a lot of really powerful people who could make you disappear if they wanted to. A lot of women, and I say a lot as in there's been more than one story, have come forward to talk about what has happened to them. But the idea that people want to put these women on trial and like, oh, it's about the money, it's about the fame, it really shows you how little we have for value of life. Like, what exactly is the price of being sexualized at 14 years old, raped repeatedly, dehumanized? Like, is there a going going rate on the market for that? I mean, if somebody on Twitter who's talking about these women wants to throw out what that going rate is, I'd be interested in just seeing like how that all quantifies, because what happened here was systematic. It was very intentional, and I disagree. She is not being charged for Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. She's being charged for her role in helping to facilitate said crimes, and she should be.
And participating in some of them.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to forget that. I mean, she really was part of the sexual assaults at times, holding women down, allegedly. So I just want to make sure she's placed in the right spot. Let us know what you guys think. We do want to move on to this trial. In closing arguments today in the trial of Jussie Smollett, the prosecutor called Jussie a serial liar and said there is no question that he orchestrated the attack. Now, yesterday, Jussie asked the prosecution to stop saying the N-word while reading texts between Jussie and the Osandaro brothers. So let's break this down into two. Let's start with the N-word. Do you think it's fair for him to say, hey, please don't do that? There's people in the audience, there's people in this court, even though he was sending those texts?
I just seriously question if there's any legal reason as to why you would have to say these things verbatim.
Right.
Like, is that a part of how the justice system works? Because that was a serious misstep to me, to use it, not use it even once, but repeatedly use it.
Yeah.
Had this been a case where we're now in court talking about a hate crime,
right,
then that might be material to this story. But the idea that he's using it to just say it verbatim, now we're talking about this prosecutor as opposed to talking about the facts of the case.
But is it possible they're trying to say the word to show how close the two of them were?
No, what is that? That proves nothing.
Okay,
and I think,
nothing.
I think
I was like, here's the other side.
Immediately I thought about the OJ case, and I was like, oh, using the N-word was like a turn case moment in that case. That was like a moment, and they were intentionally trying to show you that this had some racially, racial undertones. But I think for this, he's talking to someone who's his alleged good friend, so there's no, that's how they may banter. What does that have to do with the actual crime they commit? I think spinning around the block and circling the block twice is more important than how he was telling him, let's spin around the block.
So you think just asking to say the N-word was totally appropriate?
Yeah, asking him to stop, and I think it almost probably worked in Jussie's favor, because now it looks like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to plot against him as the Chicago police as a unit, and don't want to admit that there's some issues going on with the police department? So I don't know, but I do think, to just go back to yesterday in this case, and this being the closing day for the case, I am looking at this and saying, Jussie Smollett, the overarching, no matter what happens, he's bringing down the ship with him, period, no matter what, because I think that Don Lemon is probably sitting at home, and mind you, I told you how I feel about journalism. He's probably sitting at home like, what do I have to do with this? And Jussie Smollett is like, listen, I'm going down kicking and screaming, and I don't know if he's going to go down or not, and I will refrain from saying my opinion until we get an actual verdict, because that's what our court system is for. But I do think that he's just like, listen, if I'm going down, so is everybody, otherwise I'm getting off.
Dang, wow. Remember that walk he did when he walked in with his lawyers, like in formation? Intense. All right. Google is out with their annual list of top searches, and it seems like a lot of you are interested in sports and news. Okay. The top Google search was for the NBA, then DMX, Gabby Petito, Kyle Rittenhouse, and Brian Laundrie. The top people searched this year include Kyle Rittenhouse, followed by Tiger Woods, Alec Baldwin, Travis Scott, and Simone Biles. And look at these top how-to-be searches. People Googled how to be eligible for the stimulus check, how to be more attractive, how to be happy alone, how to be a baddie. I Googled that. And how to be, it came up with don't try, Tori, and how to be a good boyfriend. Can we scroll back on the prompter a little bit? How to be happy alone. What a pandemic Google search.
Yeah, a lot of people were going through it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at...
That breaks my heart.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, at least people are trying to seek that out, because if you can't be happy alone, you're not going to be happy with anybody else. Y'all need to stop tripping.
And I'm not good at being alone. You've helped me in the past, like going to eat. Some people love going to eat, going to the bar, having a nice meal. And I have a really hard time with that, and I'm getting better at that. But it's tricky if you're not good at it. It's tricky.
I hope that Colin searched how to be a good boyfriend, number 5. I hope that he was the reason that thing popped up.
Let's unpack that.
No, I actually think, I was like,
how to be a good boyfriend, is that it?
Yes, that's the one, number 5. But we also should have searched what we should eat for dinner, because I think that the way you get in the biggest argument for me in a relationship is not knowing what's for dinner. So how to find a good meal on Postmates when you have watched all of Netflix and ordered all of Postmates throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was my biggest issue.
You've gone through all of Netflix. You
Yes.
finished it. Yep. I feel you. I understand. I'm doing shadow puppets at this point. Coming up on DBL. If you love Hallmark movies, you want to stick around. We're talking with the hilarious trio. These guys are funny. Deck the Hallmark in just a few minutes. But first, the best moments from live in front of a studio audience, who made surprise appearances, and who got bleeped. We're chatting about it coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
It's so
I'm listening to the conversation over there, and Michael Dean is breaking down what a baddie is to Tori, which is hilarious. A baddie is considered anybody who's just like, you know what a baddie is. I want to know what you guys searched. I'm going to look in the comments because I really was searching for food a lot. Like, and even now I moved into a community that's still developing, and so food is still an issue because they're still building stuff. So I'll drive all the way by Erica's house to get a good meal, and I'll text you like, I was talking about looking for food. I told you I drive all the way to Daughter's Thai.
Oh, yeah.
Or anywhere in the vicinity of downtown Denver, anywhere, to get a good meal because they're still building food by me.
There's some good, I mean,
not nice. That's
see,
very
I like to, when we're out in different parts of town, like outside of the city, I like to go places that like we can't get in the city.
Right.
So it's like there's so many like cute little mom and pop like in different towns and stuff that I'm like, oh, let's try this. Oh, this is Cajun. Or, you know, I used to do that.
No, I
when
need
was
a booster
growing up.
seat. Just wanted you to check out what's going on right
gosh.
here. I think I got shorter after.
Good. Okay, great.
Because I need to sit on a towel. This is embarrassing. Am I too tall now? I feel like a giant.
No, that is so funny.
F-bomb, right?
Yeah.
Jillaine don't want to laugh. He's trying to be humble about it. This is embarrassing.
You look
Hey,
very
guys.
even.
A baddie is someone that's like Erica or Lindsay, all put together, and like really put together.
Meg the Stallion.
I thought a baddie was a bad, like a hard. No, it's someone who's like put. Like, I didn't know that. I am not that, right? Then I'm not a baddie. Will you guys write me in if you think who's the best baddie around?
You just got to be like going with confidence.
I don't think I'm a baddie.
But you gotta believe in yourself and like.
Welcome to DBL. The Facts of Life in Different Strokes came back to TV last night as a part of the Live in Front of a Studio Audience series. For The Facts of Life, Jennifer Aniston, there she is, received big applause for her take on Blair Warner, who I always wanted to be. Guest stars Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Jon Stewart broke character playing the boyfriends. But everyone is talking about Lisa Whelchel, who appeared off the top to sing the theme song along with some of her original co-stars. It was great. Take a look. Isn't that cool? Okay, sorry, I'm really into it. Speaking of OG cast members, Todd Bridges appeared at the start of the Different Strokes episode. Snoop Dogg guest starred, I can't believe this, as Willis's friend Vernon. This guy is everywhere. Look at him. And Kevin Hart delivered Arnold Jackson's iconic line. Let's all watch.
This is my room, too. See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts. What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Okay, I thought it was great, and I thought Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel produced it, put on a great job. Norman Lear's 99, and he looks fantastic. I think we have a picture of, look at him.
Wow.
99 years old and still kicking it. He did drop a bleep in the beginning, so he's still got some sass. What do you guys think, Erica?
I loved it. I actually watched it this morning as I was getting ready for work, and I seriously had the thought, I would always, when I would get ready for school, think like, it would be so cool to have a TV in my room and get ready and watch TV. And I was like so like smiling, like, I have a TV in my room and I can get ready and watch this. It's like nostalgia.
Like,
oh, yes, for sure, for sure.
I thought it was going to be weird to have middle-aged people playing these characters, but then it didn't. I watched it and I thought it was awesome. And I also think right now we have like a big craving for nostalgia.
Yes.
I think in the last year we saw Friends reunion, we saw Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. You know, we see Full House come back like 2 years ago and do their version on Netflix. And so I think that everybody's just craving like to go back to something that was a time that was simpler.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
of how crazy the last 2 years
You
were.
want to be enveloped in old nostalgia of feelings and smells and everything you remember. Is there a show growing up, your little 13-year-old Erica, you'd want to see in front of a live studio audience now? I was thinking of like Cheers would be really good.
Cheers would be classic.
Golden Girls might be good, although you can't top it. It's so good.
Three's Company?
Three's Company with John Ritter's son.
Family Matters.
Yes, that would be Steve Urkel.
Family Matters.
Would be
Yes.
good. That'd be good.
And Martin for sure. We can't leave that out.
Martin would be
and
very
Gina,
good.
we gotta
Anything
get
in
them back
like
together.
an apartment, I feel like you could do.
Right, with the canned laughter, that's all
Yeah,
you need.
that's all you need. Wow, we could be on it, huh?
No, I'm a terrible actress. I'm a terrible singer.
Are
This
you-
is the job that was meant for me.
We'll take it, Lindsay. We'll take it. Coming up on DBL, we're getting into the holiday spirit. Do not miss this hilarious interview with the host of Deck the Hallmark. It went off the rails. That's coming up next.
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We're counting down to Christmas, and what better way to celebrate the holidays than by talking about Hallmark Christmas specials. We caught up with the hilarious hosts of Deck the Hallmark to do just that. Let's have a look.
We're so excited to chat with you guys about Hallmark's Countdown to Christmas, which I'm obsessed with, by the way.
Very true. So, Bran likes them. No, loves them. Panda likes them. Dan absolutely despises Hallmark Christmas movies.
Excuse me.
What can listeners expect from your podcast, Deck the Hallmark, which I think is a great name?
Oh, it's a lot of fighting. It's taking things way too seriously that weren't meant to be taken seriously. I genuinely love these movies. Dan genuinely hates them, and Pat's just kind of stuck here in the middle. Yeah. So we bicker a lot, but at the end of the day, we always hug, make some hot chocolate, and sing some songs. So it all turns out well here.
Mazel tov. That's
Dan, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm even wearing my holiday shoes today. Can you see?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
I was like, okay. I apologize.
A different program.
Wow, that was
Different podcast. Dan, why do you despise these Hallmark movies that I literally every Sunday wind down my week with?
Because I typically enjoy actual movies. Is typically the issue. I got to be honest. We've done like 400 of these now, or something crazy like that. The first one I watched, I literally couldn't get through. Like after 20 minutes, I had to stop and take a break. And now, like they go down pretty easily, but they're not. I think what I've embraced is they're not trying to be good. You know what I mean? They're trying to be the thing that you wind down on Sunday with. They're not trying to be actual art. And so I enjoy how much I hate them. But they're not my thing. They're not my type of comfort food, but they are someone's. I just think anytime you make, a movie in 15 days, you can't expect it to be good. You know what I mean? Like you can't expect it to be great. That's a high expectation. Like it's like popping in a DiGiorno's pizza and expecting it to be like gourmet, right? You're there to eat what you think is kind of your thought of what pizza is, not what it actually is.
You're not cooking your DiGiorno's right, Dan.
Delicious.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you one thing about these feel-good Hallmark movies. It's not only the plot, and I agree with you. You got to understand what you're viewing. It's supposed to be really easy viewing. You can be on your phone at the same time, but I'll tell you what the kicker is. The kicker is the beautifully set towns, the music, the cardigans, the hats, the scarves. It immediately, just the ambiance and having it in the background sets a tone. It's almost like you have your Christmas tree up. It's the same type of thing. It's a decoration. Ambiance. It's feel good.
You were doing a full all that jazz. Like you were here and here and threw it across.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all of it in there.
There were definitely spirit fingers involved. It put me on the Dan train, actually.
Welcome aboard.
It's like, is it that serious? Maybe it is. Okay. So, who do you think is the best Hallmark Christmas star of all time?
Okay.
Ooh, it's tough.
Well, on the leading lady side of things, Nikki Deloach, who's been doing this for years and years and years.
That's Sam's
That's one of my best
She
friends.
is. She's a dear friend of the show. She comes on all the time, and she is such a wonderful person.
Yeah.
And she's a legitimately good actress, and she crushes it every
Best of
time.
the best.
She really is good.
And then there's guys like Christopher Palaha, who's doing like other stuff, like he's going to be in the next Jurassic World. Like he's really great. Guys like Tyler Hines that looks good and acts gooder,
which is a rarity on the Hallmark.
So there's a lot of good ones out there.
Thanks so much for chatting with us. You guys were a real treat. You can listen to Deck the Hallmark on any podcast player now. Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Aren't they cute? You want more? You can get the Trio's book out now. It's called I'll Be Home for Christmas Movies, your guide to your holiday TV obsession, and it's available at deckthehallmark.com. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by Winch.
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verify no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. If you have leg pain, there's something you can do to feel better. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to the CDC, osteoarthritis is the most common arthritis affecting Americans, with the most common areas of pain being the legs, the knees, and the hips. The best thing you can do to lessen the pain is to get moving. Researchers say as soon as you stop moving, your joints become stiffer. You can try swimming because getting in the pool eliminates stress on your leg joints. Also, QB is another great way to get moving regardless of physical ability or age. So try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. I am going to get my mom a QB for Christmas? Hanukkah.
Oh, for Hanukkah.
It's a little late. Sorry. But she can't do a lot of movements, but she can do this. I'm doing this.
Is it better late than never with the Hanukkah gift?
Yeah, she'd probably, any presents are fine. So sorry if you're watching, Mom. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.
Study this new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, meaning fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Passaretti agree.
We're seeing very similar presentations in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection.
I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all 3 doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Disturbing new accusations in the Gelane Maxwell trial. From recruiting in nightclubs to taking nude photos of underage girls, will the jury see Gelane as Epstein's partner in crime? A mother loses her daughter to gun violence and is arrested for grieving. How she's devoting her life to protect others.
And it's like I was having an out-of-body experience.
Imagine your best friend turning into your worst nightmare. How one man got completely conned by the woman he was closest to in True Crime Chronicles. And the star-studded lineup on Live in front of a studio audience, from the original cast to surprise guest appearances. Did they pull it off?
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 8th. I'm here with Lindsay, Jeff, and Tori. All right, so this is a trial that you, Jeff, has specifically been following, but we do have an update on the sex trafficking trial of Jillaine Maxwell. One of her accusers, who is going by Carolyn, testified that Maxwell felt her breasts and told her she had a great body for Epstein and his friends. She said she was paid $300 to visit Epstein's home and went more than 100 times between the ages of 14 and 18. Now, the prosecution also presented new photos of Epstein and Maxwell together, like these showing Maxwell massaging his feet. There are also more photos of them together, sometimes kissing, which the prosecution says goes to show the nature of the relationship, characterizing them as partners in crime. I also want you guys to take a look at these photos of Epstein's massage room, where several of his alleged victims said they were abused. Now, meantime, a woman named Sarah Ransom says she was recruited into Epstein's alleged sex ring in 2006. She was on CBS this morning talking about her experience. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I have so many examples of how Gelane not only tortured me and abused me, but other survivors. She grabbed my arm and marched me into Jeffrey's room, where I was then raped. So when she says that she had nothing to do and she had no idea, she was a facilitator. She was Jeffrey's right-hand woman. She orchestrated everything.
Okay, Jeff, you followed this case very closely. Do you think that we're actually going to learn anything from Gelane?
Here's the thing. I want to direct people towards Filthy Rich on Netflix, right? If you're interested in this case at all, watch that. It'll break everything down for you.
Netflix, you said?
And on Netflix. It's a documentary all about this, right? She is completely at fault, okay? The way the jury's handling this, I don't know how it's not talked about more. They're making these women who are brave enough to come forward. That's what this day and age is all about, right? Women coming forward. They're trying to confuse them on the stand, twist their words around. There's one, I listened to a whole podcast about it. One woman's like, Jeffrey came in with Gelane, and then she testifies and they're like, Gelane came in with Jeffrey, and they're like, well, which one was it? You're a liar. Wow. They put her credibility on the line. When you're putting yourself out there, they won't even say their names. It's Jane Doe. This woman was brave enough to come forward and be on TV. There's dozens and dozens and dozens, not just one or two, there's dozens of victims. And Gelane allegedly molested a lot of them herself, right. Not just Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't like that they're saying she's going to take the fall for Jeffrey Epstein. No, that's not what I'm saying.
She's culpable too.
Absolutely right. Culpable. Absolutely. So the media is twisting this whole thing around. It's not getting the attention that it needs. And then if you want to go into the names that are attached to the Jeffrey Epstein case, when I'm talking about princes, presidents, people around the world that have been to this island that we're not getting any quotes from, there was one interview done. One interview, Prince Andrew. How did that turn out? We don't want to dig a little deeper? We're just going to let that go? Okay. I just think we need to talk about it a little bit more, so I thank you guys for letting me have that little rant.
No, nobody understands I feel like, and I hate saying this out loud because I always want to be optimistic, I feel like we're never going to know Lindsay.
And I think there's like an endless amount of alleged victims. And I think only, like you said, whoever's brave enough to come forward. Even with the Sarah Ransom, who we watched her interview on CBS, she said that she was shamed immediately when she first came forward, and she decided to write her book and tell more because she felt like she's only as sick as her secrets. And that was a quote, that she needed to free herself. And so to see that people are actually coming forward and being met with what we know always happens to a lot of alleged victims, and which is why they stay silent, we'll never know the extent to how far Gelane allegedly went. And to see her calling herself and her attorneys calling her a scapegoat, it's just two totally different stories. And I think everybody wants to get to the bottom of it, because it's totally different to get blamed for Jeffrey Epstein's misdeeds and to be complicit or completely as culpable as him in all of this.
Okay, let me just say, as for the defense attorney, that's what they're going to do. They're going to blame the dead guy. And I hate to say that, but I don't have any care for Jeffrey Epstein. They're going to put it on him. That's a great way to divert it. It's not going to work, in my opinion. And let me tell you something about that massage room that they just showed. It wasn't like once a week, twice a week. Gelane would recruit and hold down girls, allegedly, hour after hour, sessions in the same day, over and over and over. He allegedly had no pleasure from it. It was just a constant addictive, and she would hold him down and be complicit. She's not just a little partner. She is complicit in this. Now, I agree with you. There is a lid on this. We are not hearing a lot of this, and that's because very important people control a lot of different forms of communication, and media involved as well, and I think that's why we're not hearing it. But Gelane is as guilty as he is, in my opinion. She molested allegedly and raped and helped. She's complicit, completely complicit.
And I wonder if she goes to jail, if victims are going to feel satisfied. I know Gayle King asked Sarah that, but Jeffrey Epstein's dead, and that's not really giving you the closure you're looking for, like somebody being behind bars for life.
I hope. Listen, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the jury and what the judge decides. But I really do hope that she spends the rest of her life behind bars, considering what I've heard from some of those victims.
And maybe a couple secrets get out there.
Yes, please. All right, so speaking of trials and closing arguments today in the trial of Jussie Smollett, the prosecutor called Jussie a serial liar and said there is no question he orchestrated the attack. Yesterday, Jussie asked the prosecution to stop saying the N-word while reading texts between Jussie and the Osundaro brothers. Before I even speak my mind, what did you think about that, Lindsay?
I actually thought that it worked in Jussie's favor, because I don't think that the N-word was necessary to actually spell it out or say it out loud here. You could have said the N-word and been just as effective, since it was banter allegedly between friends. I think when you look at something like the O.J. Simpson case, when the N-word was a staple in that argument, then that's when you might need to say it.
Like Mark Furman using it means something
exactly.
different.
It's totally different if somebody using it as a racial slur, but in this, it was a conversation between two black men. And so I think that Jussie actually has a leg to stand on. Now, whether or not he's going to become innocent because of that, I don't know. You know, everybody's looking at him a little crazy right now, and I think he's ready to take down the whole ship, no matter who it is. He's going to use anything he can, because right now I think I'll say 90% of the world, and that's like a low number, I'm guessing, is not believing him.
Yeah, go ahead. I think when he says the whole ship, I think Don Lemon might be part of that ship, like you said.
Right, Don Lemon is probably, I think that even though I believe in journalism, I think Don Lemon's probably at home like, what do I have to do with this? You know, as a black gay man, I just was simply trying to look out for my friend. I probably broke a lot of rules working for CNN specifically, but like, why are you throwing me under the bus? You know, I just think that's probably what's going on. I'm not sure, but, you know, Jussie Smollett seems like he's kicking and screaming at this point. You called him a narcissist yesterday.
I find his ego incredible. The idea that he would take the stand in this and double down and then triple down when 90% of us don't really believe him. He doesn't seem to read the climate. He takes the stand because he needs to be out there. And let me tell you something. He will appeal whatever decision if it goes against him. We will never hear the end of the Smollett trial, ever.
He's facing 3 years in jail, so I mean, I would be kicking and screaming too, but, you know, it's a lot. He went from actor on one of the biggest shows on Fox to 3 years in jail. That's a totally different lifestyle. So he better think of something if he came up with this stupid plan for $3,500.
I'm with you guys 100%, but just to be devil's advocate.
Oh, please! I want to know what possible other side you could go.
I'm going. Why not play off of people's social issues right now?
Right.
The N-word has nothing to do with this case, but look over here. We're not talking about what he did. Now we're using that word. He's a gay black man. Let's look over here again. We're not talking about the case. We're talking on people's instincts and their social cues that we're going through as Americans right now. He's not on trial for what he did. Now he's making the trial about what we're doing socially and fighting each other for. I don't blame him. Use the justice system for what it is. If you have a way out and you could use social issues to get out of whatever you got yourself into, do you blame him?
No, but that's why our justice system needs reform.
Again, I agree with you guys. I'm playing the devil. I got to point it out.
But that's why I say over and over and over again, I don't understand how certain people can create whatever defense they want. They literally sit in a conference room and come up with a defense that they believe will convince the jury. How is that ethical? And you're only allowed to do that is if you have money or influence.
Yes.
How is that legal?
It is, because it's not legal. It's not legal. And if the jury decides he can be perjured, he's lying. He can be perjured.
I think we need reform.
Hey, I think we all, that's desperate. I think that's pretty desperate.
What's desperate?
Reform.
No, that's a good point.
We desperately
didn't articulate it properly.
No, like an adverb. We desperately need reform. Yes.
I've been called desperate before.
Me too, hon.
That was a trigger
Me
word.
too, honey. Me too.
Coming up on DBL, Kim Cattrall may not be in the Sex and the City reboot, but her character Samantha is. We'll tell you what we know, but first, Google reveals its most searched phrases of the year. Stick around to see if any of your searches made the list.
Closed captioning provided by
It's
All right, Tori here with Lindsay. I need you guys to write me in if you can see this. If you can see this now and we're on live, write in, I can see you, okay? I'm concerned I'm doing a lot of this and no one's watching.
Wait, doing what?
I want to make sure are we?
I see comments.
No. In the breaks. I'm not sure we're going with and I think I'm talking to nobody.
No people are watching the break.
I hope that someone's listening. No, none yet. None yet. I'm worried.
Okay, but I have a question. Okay. What if Jussie Smollett gets off as innocent? Would you be surprised?
Yes.
You'd be surprised?
Yes, because no matter how rich you are, when it smells like that and the whole country...
But there has to be a shadow of a doubt, right, for the jury. And this trial got really convoluted with him saying he's kissing the Nigerian man in the back.
That's sexual.
That leads to a lot of different motives for somebody.
Well, clearly, you're not going to probably be hooking up with someone who's going to put a noose on you later. I think it really breaks down that he knew these guys well.
But a shadow of a doubt is all you need. You don't have to prove.
There's one more. I was telling Dre.
I mean, I don't know.
They can see us. They can see us. Yay! They can see us. Okay, sorry.
Are you going to drop it if he's innocent? Or are you going to leave him alone and say, okay, he's innocent? That's what our justice system says. Or are you still going to not say you didn't believe this?
Oh, I will 1,000% say I don't believe him. Because he said he's innocent, I'm not going to... Here's the thing, I won't... I will hold my opinion strongly. I disbelieve him. I don't believe OJ is innocent. I strongly believe he almost decapitated her. Sorry to go there. I really think he brutally murdered her, and we're just all like making jokes about it all the time. Sorry, I took a bummer tone.
Took a serious.
I am so sorry. By the way,
jump in there. I don't have any.
Someone said we love when the inner Jew comes out, and she goes,
"No, I don't know.
I know, honey. I know. Being called desperate is a trigger. I totally
desperately.
I don't know. I
played into that. We all know each other so well. I knew Tori was referring to the justice system, but it's fun to pick and poke. You know.
I've been hands off with Tori.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we get to the Google searches, we're getting so many comments welcoming Lindsay back.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
Great to have you back. You've been
I'm so happy to be back. It's still crazy, but I'm happy to be here because it gives me a little break. Anybody who's a parent understands what I'm going through right now.
I love talking to you about like parenting and stuff.
Yeah, it's like my whole world changed.
Yep. All right, so Google is out with their annual list of top searches, and it seems like a lot of you were pretty interested in sports and news. So the top Google search was for the NBA, then DMX, Gabby Petito, Kyle Rittenhouse, and Brian Laundrie. The top people searched this year include Kyle Rittenhouse, followed by Tiger Woods, Alec Baldwin, Travis Scott, and Simone Biles. And look at these top how to be searches. People Googled how to be eligible for the stimulus check, how to be more attractive, how to be happy alone, how to be a baddie, and how to be a good boyfriend. Tori, do you know what a baddie is?
Okay, I learned. I thought baddie meant like brave. Hey, you're a baddie. No. Okay, we all don't need to laugh. We got it. Tori doesn't know. It means a baddie is a girl who's always slaying.
Who texted you this?
Michael Dean, our producer.
I thought you asked the baddie.
He said, make sure you say this. A baddie is a girl who's always slaying the game and always on fleek. I didn't realize someone who's like,
on fleek is not allowed to be used
that's
anymore.
Like 10
yeah, that's
years
like
ago. I messed up.
Michael Dean, you messed up by sending on
Michael
fleek.
Dean.
Poor Michael Dean.
Come on now, this is 1981.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Michael Dean, can we get a shot of you? You doing okay? But
What surprise? There he is. We love you, Michael Dean. Always trying to keep us hip. Okay, so what did you guys think about the searches? Did any of them surprise you? What do you think should have been on there?
I hope Colin searched how to be a good boyfriend. That was a.
Did you see that? Did anybody look that up?
No,
I did with Michael Dean again. And let me tell you, it's almost like how embarrassing that people had to look it up, because it's like
there's actual rules.
Oh my gosh, listen to them.
Oh God.
Be patient.
Oh Lord.
Ask them how they are.
Oh God.
Loosen the reins.
Oh, the reins.
Yes.
The reins.
Yes, it's terrible. But I guess I'd rather have somebody look it up than just be mean.
I have to say that How to Be Happy Alone really hit me, because that's such a pandemic Google search of how can I live in solitude that I'm not used to. And I just want to give a shout out to anyone who's going through that. I'm not good alone. I'm trying to be better alone. Like, I'm going to dinners now alone.
Beautiful.
And sitting. I'm not comfortable with it. I bring a book, but I'm trying to go.
That's good. That's hard.
It's
Every
really
time
hard
I go
for
to
me.
dinner alone, I'm very awkward.
I'm very
travel
awkward.
a lot, and I was just sitting there. And I told my friend when I was single, I never was meeting anybody. She's like, "Well, what were you ordering?" I was like, "Oh, mozzarella sticks." She said, "That's exactly why you weren't meeting anybody." Like, are you 12?
Oh, chicken tenders.
Really quickly, what shocked you that wasn't on the list?
I don't know. I Googled some weird things at my desk just for the show.
Like what?
What?
For the show. I'm like getting into detail. So like if I ever if I ever got arrested and then I check my search history,
You're
like
in
what are
trouble.
you searching weird stuff for? It's for work. It's work purposes.
This seems
How
like a weird
weird.
disclaimer.
We all have the same topics.
I know. I don't.
What are you searching
It's the
over
same.
there?
You have weird stuff on yours too.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. How can you tell me?
Because we all doing the same stories.
Okay, we gotta.
At least I don't go to dinner by myself.
Oh my gosh! Cheers to me.
All right, enough. Serious story coming up on DBL. A mother is thrown in jail for grieving her daughter's murder. I cannot imagine. You have to hear this incredible woman's story of healing and fighting for change. Stay with us.
I have it.
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So, it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine losing your child and then getting thrown in jail because of it. Earlier, we sat down with Nyesha Beeman, a warrior mom from Chicago who lost her 18-year-old to gun violence. Take a look.
My daughter, Jaya Beeman, was senselessly killed at a convenience store in 2020. I received a call from a friend of mine saying someone had got shot that she knew in the convenience store on 79th and Avalon. I looked at geolocation and she was in the area. I was met with detectives. They didn't give me any information. They just told me to go to the University of Chicago hospital. And they was like, well, somebody got to go see her, view the body. She was like looked like in a maintenance storage closet and just like thrown there. No post-mortem care, no care, make her look presentable to the family. And when I saw her, I passed out, and it's like I was having an out-of-body experience watching another mom go through it. I heard someone tell that same mom, which was me, this is the inappropriate way to grieve. I was arrested, spent overnight in jail. They was just, mean and cruel bystanders. Like, wait, her daughter just was murdered. And then the detective, he was like, he don't give a F. I mean, it's like it's nothing to them. Shootings are very common in Chicago. We're looking at roughly 700 killings in Chicago, murders this year. Jaya was 18 when she was murdered. She was at going to Malcolm X College studying nursing. She wanted to become a nurse like me. I had my life all figured out before I lost my child, but I had to sit down and revamp everything. And this is who I am now. I'm just trying to reach as many as we can. Jaya always was the kid that cheered you on. So I hope she don't think I'm doing too much. That's what she said, but I don't be doing too much.
Welcome to DBL, Nyesha. Tell us how proud you were of Jaya, knowing that she wanted to follow in your footsteps and become a nurse to help others.
I was, I never pushed it on her, but once she decided, I was like, yay, because I know that would be a field that she could excel in, and then I can also guide her and help her.
I do have to ask, because you have other children that you love, and I'm sure you're equally worried about growing up in a place where urban terrorism is so prevalent. So how do you deal with that? How do you mitigate that? Like, walk us through what your fears are as a parent.
My son is 18. He want to go out, explore, be a teenager. I constantly say, hey, you cannot sit in the car, come straight in the house, or don't sit and wait for your friends too long in the car because you can get struck by a stray bullet in the car.
I wanted to ask you this, and most respectfully, what moment do you consider your rock bottom?
The moment you lose a child is rock bottom. But when I was arrested, dragged out of the hospital, arrested by Chicago police, because I was not grieving appropriately, sitting in the jail cell while my daughter was deceased, murdered, that was my lowest point in my life.
Well, you have really taken a very traumatic experience that will be with you for the rest of your life and put that into action. So you aren't just talking about it, you're being about it, because you started Warrior Moms of Chicago and the Jaya Beeman Foundation.
I just felt as though I had to do something. I mean, I'm tired of the gun violence. I'm tired of the senselessness of, kids getting killed. You can't be outside, you can't play. So I started the Jaya Beeman Foundation to instill hope and build confidence in our adolescent and young adults so they can know they don't have to resort to violence.
Well, you've done a lot of the legwork on this, and I need you to tell us what we can do to help.
A lot of the moms, we try our best to get in front of media so it's something or someone in power can see it and do something about the violence. We take donations, but we want volunteers. We want solutions. We're all we have right now.
We want to thank you so much for putting your heart and your story out there. DBL Nation, you can support by visiting thejayabeemanfoundation.org for more information. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verify no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got a comment for us?
Yes, a lot of people were happy that I'm eating alone and they're trying to as well.
Well, you've done it once.
I've done it once.
You found the exact comment that aligned with you.
No, Courtney sent me these. Okay, she says, Katie said, I've never gone to a restaurant, but I have sat at the bar many times by myself. Something at the bar is like not being alone. So I can try that.
I love sitting at the bar and talking to the bartender. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Jonah Hill is calling Meryl Streep the greatest of all time when it comes to acting. But do you agree? And the best moments from live in front of a studio audience, who made surprise appearances and who returned to their original roles. Stay with us.
This new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Passaretti agree.
We're seeing very similar presentations in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection.
I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all three doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll. Yeah. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Lindsay, and Tori. We got Lindsay here, everybody.
Hey! I missed you guys.
And how now? Kinsley is almost 4 months, right?
Almost. She's going through a crazy sleep regression. I talked to you a lot about it. Jeff thinks this is hilarious because I was like living my life freely, and now I'm like, Jeff, help me. What should I do?
Sam always talk, but it's something that you could kind of complain, but solve a problem at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
But Kinsley's an angel. When I was with her,
yeah, okay, that's what everyone says.
Did not do a peep. Maybe she just likes me.
Yeah, it just must be you, not me. She's torturing me.
We'll bring our kids to Sam's house.
Yeah, exactly.
Drop them off for the day.
You can. All right, so the Facts of Life at Different Strokes came back to TV last night as part of the Live in Front of a Studio Audience series. So for the Facts of Life, Jennifer Aniston received a big applause for her take on Blair Warner. That's Gabrielle Union, by the way, playing Tootie. And then guest stars Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Jon Stewart broke character playing the boyfriends, okay? But everyone's talking about Lisa Whelchel, who kicked off the show singing the Facts of Life theme song along with some of the other original co-stars. You guys have to see this. Oh my gosh! Speaking of OG cast members, Todd Bridges appeared at the start of the Different Strokes episode. Snoop Dogg guest starred as Willis's friend Vernon, and Kevin Hart delivered Arnold Jackson's iconic line, "Watch."
This is my room too. See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts. What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, so Jeff was I'm going to give something away to our audience. Jeff was so into this last night that you had to text our executive producer because you were so, thrilled about it.
Yeah, because my wife doesn't care, right? And so I wanted to text somebody that appreciated it. Listen, I loved this last night. It was so nostalgic. I loved Different Strokes going up. I actually, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, I kind of remember this episode, right?
Weird.
Facts of Life, I watched on and off. But the characters being older, loved it. We talked about that yesterday.
Blair looks the same, though. Let's be honest.
I know she does.
She looks
impossible.
She has not aged. That woman has not aged.
I know.
Wow.
And of course, Kim Fields,
friend of the show. Yeah.
Friend of the show, but doesn't age at all.
At all. She dropped a little thing for her new movie. You know, Jimmy Kimmel kind of dismissed it. But anyways, back to the show. It was amazing. I love that it was live. I have such an appreciation for live television, live theater, and they crushed it. It was so good. Norman Lear was there, 99 years old.
I heard he cursed.
Dropped an F-bomb at the top.
Oh,
What better way to kick off? Oh, I can't?
No.
Oh, well, at least he didn't say the word.
Yeah, you can't even say that anymore?
No. Nope.
Welcome to talk shows in 20 years. Do you agree? Yes. No. Bye. That's it. I can't say anything anymore. Anyways, I'm over it. What do you think?
What show do you hope to see next be live? A nostalgic show that you grew up with?
I really love Martin. That was my favorite, and I feel like it's easy because it took place mostly in his apartment to do in front of a studio audience. There are other shows that I like, but they seem a little more complicated. I thought that it wasn't going to be that good, but I was pleasantly surprised when I watched
hilarious,
it. Yeah,
right? Yeah, I would go with Cheers, only because you could do a good studio audience, or like Chris, our other executive producer, was saying MASH would be interesting.
And Three's Company.
And Three's Company, and use John Ritter's son and flip over a couch. May he rest. What a great talent he was.
That is
May he rest. Sorry.
We heard the first
It's a series, so there'll be more.
Yes, there will definitely be more. Okay, speaking of series, the new Sex and the City series, and Just Like That, debuts on HBO Max tomorrow. Kristen Davis was on the Today Show. She said the show will address why Kim Cattrall's character Samantha is not on the show. Watch.
We love Samantha. Samantha is never not going to be a part in some way, right? So there is respect for Samantha. There is, it's part of the story.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite the
we
tease.
would never disrespect Samantha.
All right.
And Chris Noth, who plays Mr. Big, told The Guardian that he found the apparent feud between SJP and Kim to be, quote, sad and uncomfortable. He added that he feels protective of SJP and was not happy about Kim calling her out on social media. Whoa. What do we think about this constant feuding rather than focusing? And I know a lot of people are focusing on the series, but what do you make of the constant feuding?
It feels a little girl catfighty to me. And I don't know if you guys know what that means, but I guess a girl, or if you're a woman, you understand maybe more, but girls were always sort of clashed against each other. You're never on the same team, right? And maybe that's changing this climate, but it was always like cat fights. I hate you. I can't support Sam. Sam can't support Lindsay. That would never happen. We have to take each other down. Well, we love each other and we support each other and we fix each other's crowns. Is that the way?
Yeah,
okay.
but it does feel like Mean Girls a little bit, because you were saying even earlier, like they didn't even address Kim Cattrall by her
say
name.
Samantha,
They're like Samantha, and even the way that it's coming up. We talked about you can read energy, and so you can read us being on TV. You can read people being a little phony or not in the mood. So we try our best to show up on our best energy, and it's just like she seemed like she still has some kind of issue with Kim Cattrall, and she was just trying to be PC about it, like saying yes, thank you, like you were just talking about. She was doing that whole thing.
So you pointed. I didn't want to point it out, but it seemed like you weren't expecting that question.
It was awkward.
It was very awkward.
I cringed. And to say Samantha, not Kim Cattrall, was very deliberate. We will never disrespect Samantha.
Yeah.
But this girl, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it,
Me
though.
too.
I really am. As much as I'm going to miss Samantha, though. I loved that character.
Great.
I know. Oh, well, we're going to have to tune in to see. So Jonah Hill confused Meryl Streep by paying her a compliment. Jonah, who's starring with Meryl in the new film Don't Look Up, told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show that when he called Meryl the GOAT, as in greatest of all time, she thought he meant the animal. Watch.
We're doing a press conference, and she's like, you know, and Jonah is so comfortable with me, he's been calling me a goat all week. And Jennifer Lawrence explained to her, she was telling Jennifer about this, how and she's so cool, she wasn't even offended by it. She was just like, I guess he like loves me and is calling me a goat.
That's adorable.
First of all, what a great place Jonah Hill is in life. You're just talking about, I did a movie with Meryl Streep, Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. What? And you're wearing that outfit?
Because he surfs every day.
You crushed life, Jonah Hill. It's over.
But let me tell you, I watched the rest of that interview, and I was thinking the same thing, like, dude, this guy's on top. And I will just say he went into the self-doubt that went into him being cast next to co-starring Meryl Streep, and he gave a whole take on self-doubt and what the voice is. He's a really introspective guy. I love Jonah Hill's take. He's very into his feelings. I just watched the interview. Great interview.
Who, if you could pick any GOAT as far as acting goes, maybe it's Meryl Streep, but who would you pick?
Viola Davis. There's no one better than Viola Davis.
Her cry is epic.
Everything about it.
That cry is like,
no matter what. Her saying good morning, I'm like, she's like, good morning.
Well, I know in her speeches too, like her acceptance speeches.
They kill me.
I think, speaking of Viola Davis, I thought Denzel really took it from me when he did Fences with Viola Davis.
I was going to say that.
Because that was really a one scene situation, and they both like made me feel like I was there and understood the emotions. And I know I've been hearing Denzel since I was younger. All the ladies in my life are like, Denzel. So I think naturally I just had to go with what my mom and everybody was saying.
The woman
Denzel's
that I
the
used to babysit for was really close with Denzel. So he used to come over and he told me two things that, first of all, he was the nicest guy on the planet. And he told me two things about his acting career, because at the time, her son, Cynthia, who's been on the show before, her son wanted to be an actor. So he told Christian two things that made his movies his own. So apparently he has a broken pinky, and he showed us his pinky's like this. He will like do scenes so people can see the pinky. Weird.
He makes it part of the character.
And then in every movie, he does this to something. So when you watch a movie that he does, keep an eye out. I guess he does this maybe to someone's head, to a window. He always does his little kiss in every movie. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy. I know. Who's your ghost?
I like to hear, first of all, I like to hear when people really idolize somebody, how great that they are in real life.
'Cause that's not
very
always the
important.
case.
Not at all.
Nope.
That's very important. And
Yeah.
he's super inspirational. Denzel's a great pick. He is a GOAT. But Leonardo DiCaprio, I love him. Or should I say Jonah Hill's friend? I watch everything. There's great actors, but I just seen everything Leo does and like it. And that's not the case with every single actor. He really knows how to pick
And
movies.
look at him with his philanthropy, too.
Yeah.
Everything with
Oceans,
the environment.
yep,
I know. I love Bill Murray. I'm obsessed with Bill
That's a
Murray.
good
I
one.
hope
That's a
one
good
day
one.
he comes on our show. I know he doesn't even have a cell phone.
Really?
Yeah. No, you can't. If you want to book Bill Murray, you have to call his 1-800 number. And if he decides to hear what he's on his own.
Why don't you call it on the show and leave a message?
That's something that Chris and I have been working on.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll leave as many messages as possible. That'll be a segment.
But like leave one that everybody could hear. So like we could all hear.
Yes.
And you do it.
Yes, we would
What do you
patch
mean
it
a segment?
through.
You need to like prompt her that up?
He wants you to dial it up right now and put it on speaker.
Right now?
We gotta set up with the
have to set it
speaker.
up with the speaker. And I don't know if I have his
What's the
1-800
microphone
number.
you're wearing? What do you mean a speaker?
Wearing.
He's not going to answer.
Wearing.
Did I say that like Christopher Walken?
Yes, you did sound like Christopher Walken. All right, coming up on DBL, a man loses thousands of dollars after being conned by his best friend. How a woman was dubbed Queen of the Con in True Crime Chronicles next.
Provided by
Only in theaters December 17th.
Put a phone up to a microphone. It doesn't sound like crisp audio that we expect.
These guys are thinking like he's going to answer. It's going to say leave a message. Beep. Do you need that?
And here we want to hear a celebrity say, leave a message. Beep. That's what the viewers will
I don't even think it's him saying it.
I agree. It's a sound alike?
Let's call. What's the number? Hey, what's the number? I'm going to call her right now.
He knows. We're going to
You know it by heart?
1-800 Bill Murray.
No, it's a 1-800 number.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it.
Oh my God, you're so adamant about this.
Yeah.
I start doing this every Friday.
We are?
Leaving messages.
He's gonna. That's how Ellen got on the cover of Oprah's magazine.
Yeah, she dresses her for Halloween.
Yeah, she kept asking every week, can I be on the cover? You had never had anybody on the cover, and finally Oprah was like, come on, man.
And Rosie O'Donnell did the same thing a long time ago when she had her talk show about Tom Cruise.
Oh, and then Tom Cruise came on.
And then Tom Cruise finally came
Right.
on. She kept saying, I want you to be a guest. I want you to be a guest.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell also said, I will not allow Willem Dafoe on my show because he's scary.
Okay, so I'm putting my request in Oprah. We want you on the show. Oprah. We want you on Daily Blast Live. So can that go out there to the universe? That's my one time.
When I was in England doing the Meghan Markle, where I was just at a pub, whatever, I saw Hoda Kotb walk by with Savannah while we were in Windsor, and I go, "What's up, Hoda?" And she goes, "DBL, Daily Blast Live, we know you guys." And I should have been like, "Yeah," and I went, "Really?" I was so excited.
You gotta be like humble, but still like, you were very humble. You gotta be cool humble.
I was green. It was a little green. So anyway, that was exciting. But I think Oprah knows of us.
Well, I meant to say that Jonah Hill is humble. I like that.
He is so humble.
That's what you said when you were talking about the rest of his interview.
But he talks about self-doubt, like
with someone.
I know. Kelly wants to take it over.
Don't break
but
up a happy
if you do
home.
watch it, it's all about what your voice of self-doubt, and he almost didn't do the movie. It's really, really cool. He's very open. And remember when Jimmy Kimmel goes, "You smell good. I didn't picture a guy like you would smell good." And he goes,
I can't.
"Why
If you
would you
want
say
to, it's
that?
up to you."
Why would you do that? That hurts my feelings." Very transparent, very real. Jonah Hill. What is this? I'm seeing you. Is that right? I fixed your crown.
I've been seeing you, Jonah. I've been seeing you.
Mayor Smith came into the life of reality TV producer Jonathan Walton as an angel, promising friendship in a time of need. But one day, after years at each other's side, Jonathan learned the terrible truth about his so-called best friend. The story of the Irish heiress is today's True Crime Chronicles.
residents of a Los Angeles apartment building meet to tackle a pressing matter. A legal dispute has barred them from using the building's swimming pool. Jonathan Walton, a resident of the building, discusses with his neighbors next steps they should take. One person catches his attention, a new member. Mayor Smith makes a memorable impression on the group.
Her name was Mayor Smith. She introduced herself as Mayor Smith. She moved into my building in 2013. She came to one of the meetings and she stole the show. Everybody loved her. She was funny. She was vivacious. She told dirty jokes. And she seemed so kind. She went around the room and offered to help everyone.
Soon, the pair begin what Jonathan believes will become a lifelong friendship.
In a very short time, I fell in love with her. You know, as much as any gay man can love a woman, she became like a sister to me. You know, when I confided in her that part of my family had disowned me for being gay, she pounced. With tears in her eyes, she told me, well, my family disowned me too because they're trying to get me disinherited.
Mayor reveals to Jonathan that she is an Irish heiress and set to inherit millions of dollars. But Mayor says the DA has frozen her assets, preventing her from accepting the money. Mayor needs financial assistance until her inheritance arrives and asks for help.
I loaned her almost, $100,000 to aid her legal fight to get her inheritance.
He begins to suspect that the woman, who has been his best friend for over 4 years, may not be who she claims to be.
She'd created dozens of Google Voice accounts to create phone numbers that she would text herself as, and create email accounts that she would email herself as, and show people, look what this barrister emailed me, look what my cousin Finton emailed me. None of that was real. It was all smoke and mirrors.
Mayor Smith's house of cards begins to disintegrate when she makes the outlandish claim that authorities have jailed her for money laundering. When Jonathan digs deeper into her claims, he learns through public records that authorities have actually arrested her for felony grand theft. When Jonathan confronts her, she denies the accusations. Jonathan quickly ends his friendship with Mayor and goes to the police.
I was angry and I went to police and they kind of told me there was nothing they could do. Good luck. So I started my own investigation. I started a blog. I started a website, jonathanwalton.com, just to share my story and warn people about this woman. And sure enough, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, other victims of Mayor Smith started contacting me through my website with the craziest stories of how she scammed them.
Jonathan Walton started a podcast, Queen of the Con, the Irish heiress, to tell his story and expose Mayor Smith to the world. Earlier, we caught up with him to chat about the case. Take a look.
I have to ask you, what personality traits do you think that you possess that made her target you?
You see, I've since come to learn, con artists are like sharks. They're not targeting any one person. They're targeting everyone. Whoever is in their sphere is a target, and they do it indiscriminately. So she didn't target me. She just happened to move into my building and become my neighbor. And we had a meeting to discuss this huge problem we were having, and she had all the solutions, and she was so kind and funny and clever and smart, and she was so lovable. Con artists are lovable.
She's conned dozens of people, but you're the only one who spoke out. Why do you think people are embarrassed? Why is that?
I think the majority of con artist victims are, yes, embarrassed. They're shackled by the fear of, what are people going to think? They're scared that people are going to think less of them because they fell for a con. But, as an openly gay man, I came out when I was 30. And I already divorced myself from caring what people think because, the majority of the world does not hold gay people in high esteem particularly. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that fear of what are people going to think. So that never held me back.
What did she take from you that's harder to get back? Like when I asked that, I mean, like emotionally, physically, like what did she take from Jonathan?
Well, I don't trust anyone ever now. I background check everyone new that comes into my life. And even people I thought I knew, I background check all of them. And I found out some pretty amazing things. Not that they're con artists, but the truth of the matter is, when I met Mayor Smith, if I'd have just run a background check on her off the bat, I would have found all these felonies in other states for fraud and grand theft and you know, fabricating documents. She was charged with all these crimes over the years. But how many times do you think to run a background check on someone you meet? You never do, but now I do that for everyone. So I'm forever suspicious of everyone.
How about something for like me and Al and our audience? I know maybe not to run something extensive as a background check, just something to look out for. Are there signs that someone's trying to con you?
Yeah. They are everywhere. Here's a red flag number one. Kindness. If you meet someone new and they're just super kind and they want to pay for things and they want to buy you gifts and they want to become your friend real quick, there's a good chance you're being set up for a con, because no one's that kind. That was Mare. She was super kind, but you know, she was grooming people to con them. And another good red flag is drama. Listen, bad things happen to people all the time. People's, you know, children die. People get raped at a bar. People get cancer. But every bad thing doesn't happen to the same person at the same time. You know, con artists like to create a lot of drama and confusion, and they like to rope you in, because I've said this many, many times. Con artists, they're not smarter than you. They're not going to outsmart you. Con artists outfeel you. They get into your heart. They use your emotion to scam you. So if they can ensnare you in tons of drama and have you care about them and want to help them, that's you know, they're half the way to conning you, because once you start making decisions based on your heart, your brain checks out. You know, love is the most powerful thing there is in the world. And if a con artist can get you to love them, you'll do crazy things to help them because you think you're trying to do the right thing, you know?
Jonathan, very informative. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. And if you'd like to hear more about Jonathan's story, listen to Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, available on any podcast player. Jonathan, thanks again, man.
And Jonathan,
Thank you
can
guys
trust
so much.
us.
It was a
We're
pleasure.
safe.
Thank you. Yes, great. That's good to hear.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Jonathan.
This was
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you have leg pain, there is relief. So we're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to the CDC, osteoarthritis is the most common arthritis affecting Americans, with the most common areas of the pain being the legs, the knees, and the hips. The best thing you can do is to get moving. Researchers say as soon as you stop moving, your joints actually become stiffer. So try swimming, because getting in the pool eliminates stress on your leg joints. Also, QB is another great way to get moving regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Watch out!
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, alive virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verified no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Tomorrow on DBL, it's Christmas time with Kyle Richards. The actress and housewife tells us why she almost skipped Paris Hilton's wedding. And why are missing people of color's cases ignored? We talk live with the founder of the Black and Missing Foundation to find out. That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
Okay, so people really liked in the live in front of a studio audience, I can't pronounce CTSA, one person said, we love the retro commercials. And if you didn't know, in the commercials, they did like 80s commercials. Cool. And Alfonso Ribeiro did an Oscar Mayer commercial. It was really well done. So if you haven't done that, I would suggest looking back.
Everyone's craving nostalgia, right?
Really true.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Study this this new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and
in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection. I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all 3 doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Disturbing new accusations in the Gelane Maxwell trial. From recruiting in nightclubs to taking nude photos of underage girls, will the jury see Gelane as Epstein's partner in crime? A mother loses her daughter to gun violence and is arrested for grieving. How she's devoting her life to protect others.
And it's like I was having an out-of-body experience.
Imagine your best friend turning into your worst nightmare. How one man got completely conned by the woman he was closest to in True Crime Chronicles. And the star-studded lineup on Live in front of a studio audience, from the original cast to surprise guest appearances. Did they pull it off?
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 8th. I'm here with Lindsay, Jeff, and Tori. All right, so this is a trial that you, Jeff, has specifically been following, but we do have an update on the sex trafficking trial of Jillaine Maxwell. One of her accusers, who is going by Carolyn, testified that Maxwell felt her breasts and told her she had a great body for Epstein and his friends. She said she was paid $300 to visit Epstein's home and went more than 100 times between the ages of 14 and 18. Now, the prosecution also presented new photos of Epstein and Maxwell together, like these showing Maxwell massaging his feet. There are also more photos of them together, sometimes kissing, which the prosecution says goes to show the nature of the relationship, characterizing them as partners in crime. I also want you guys to take a look at these photos of Epstein's massage room, where several of his alleged victims said they were abused. Now, meantime, a woman named Sarah Ransom says she was recruited into Epstein's alleged sex ring in 2006. She was on CBS this morning talking about her experience. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I have so many examples of how Gelane not only tortured me and abused me, but other survivors. She grabbed my arm and marched me into Jeffrey's room, where I was then raped. So when she says that she had nothing to do and she had no idea, she was a facilitator. She was Jeffrey's right-hand woman. She orchestrated everything.
Okay, Jeff, you followed this case very closely. Do you think that we're actually going to learn anything from Gelane?
Here's the thing. I want to make people, I want to direct people towards Filthy Rich on Netflix, right? If you're interested in this case at all, watch that. It'll break everything down for you.
Netflix, you said?
And on Netflix. It's a documentary all about this, right? She is completely at fault, okay? The way the jury's handling this, I don't know how it's not talked about more. They're making these women who are brave enough to come forward. That's what this day and age is all about, right? Women coming forward. They're trying to confuse them on the stand, twist their words around. There's one, I listened to a whole podcast about it. One woman's like, Jeffrey came in with Gelane, and then she testifies, and they're like, Gelane came in with Jeffrey, and they're like, well, which one was it? You're a liar. Wow. They put her credibility on the line. When you're putting yourself out there, they won't even say their names. It's Jane Doe. This woman was brave enough to come forward and be on TV. There's dozens and dozens and dozens, not just one or two, there's dozens of victims. And Gelane allegedly molested a lot of them herself, right. Not just Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't like that they're saying she's going to take the fall for Jeffrey Epstein. No, that's not what I'm saying.
She's culpable too.
Absolutely right. Culpable. Absolutely. So it's the media is twisting this whole thing around. It's not getting the attention that it needs. And then if you want to go into the names that are attached to the Jeffrey Epstein case, when I'm talking about princes, presidents, people around the world that have been to this island that we're not getting any quotes from, there was one interview done. One interview, Prince Andrew. How did that turn out? We don't want to dig a little deeper? We're just going to let that go? Okay. I just think we need to talk about it a little bit more, so I thank you guys for letting me have that little rant.
No, nobody understands I feel like, and I hate saying this out loud because I always want to be optimistic, I feel like we're never going to know Lindsay.
And I think there's like an endless amount of alleged victims, and I think only, like you said, whoever's brave enough to come forward. Even with Sarah Ransom, who we watched her interview on CBS, she said that she was shamed immediately when she first came forward, and she decided to write her book and tell more because she felt like she's only as sick as her secrets, and that was a quote, that she needed to free herself. And so to see that people are actually coming forward and being met with what we know always happens to a lot of alleged victims, and which is why they stay silent, we'll never know the extent to how far Gelane allegedly went. And to see her calling herself and her attorneys calling her a scapegoat, it's just two totally different stories, and I think everybody wants to get to the bottom of it, because it's totally different to get blamed for Jeffrey Epstein's misdeeds and to be complicit or completely as culpable as him in all of this.
Okay, let me just say, as for the defense attorney, that's what they're going to do. They're going to blame the dead guy, and I hate to say that, but I don't have any care for Jeffrey Epstein. They're going to put it on him. That's a great way to divert it. It's not going to work, in my opinion. And let me tell you something about that massage room that they just showed. It wasn't like once a week, twice a week. Gelane would recruit and hold down girls, allegedly, hour after hour, sessions in the same day, over and over and over. He allegedly had no pleasure from it. It was just a constant addictive, and she would hold him down and be complicit. She's not just a little partner. She is complicit in this. Now, I agree with you. There is a lid on this. We are not hearing a lot of this, and that's because very important people control a lot of different forms of communication and media involved as well, and I think that's why we're not hearing it. But Gelane is as guilty as he is, in my opinion. She molested allegedly and raped and helped. She's complicit, completely complicit.
And I wonder if she goes to jail, if victims are going to feel satisfied. I know Gayle King asked Sarah that, but Jeffrey Epstein's dead, and that's not really giving you the closure you're looking for, like somebody being behind bars for life.
Listen, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the jury and what the judge decides, but I really do hope that she spends the rest of her life behind bars, considering what I've heard from some of those victims.
And maybe a couple secrets get out there.
Yes, please. All right, so speaking of trials and closing arguments today in the trial of Jussie Smollett, the prosecutor called Jussie a serial liar and said there is no question he orchestrated the attack. Yesterday, Jussie asked the prosecution to stop saying the N-word while reading texts between Jussie and the Osundaro brothers. Before I even speak my mind, what did you think about that, Lindsay?
I actually thought that it worked in Jussie's favor, because I don't think that the N-word was necessary to actually spell it out or say it out loud here. You could have said the N-word and been just as effective, since it was banter allegedly between friends. I think when you look at something like the O.J. Simpson case, when the N-word was a staple in that argument, then that's when you might need to say it.
Like Mark Furman using it means something
exactly.
different.
It's totally different if somebody using it as a racial slur, but in this, it was a conversation between two black men.
Right.
And so I think that Jussie actually has a leg to stand on. Now, whether or not he's going to become innocent because of that, I don't know. You know, everybody's looking at him a little crazy right now, and I think he's ready to take down the whole ship, no matter who it is. He's going to use anything he can, because right now I think I'll say 90% of the world, and that's like a low number, I'm guessing, is not believing him.
Yeah, go ahead. I think when he says the whole ship, I think Don Lemon might be part of that ship, like you said.
Right, Don Lemon is probably, I think that even though I believe in journalism, I think Don Lemon's probably at home like, what do I have to do with this? You know, as a black gay man, I just was simply trying to look out for my friend. I probably broke a lot of rules working for CNN specifically, but like, why are you throwing me under the bus? You know, I just think that's probably what's going on. I'm not sure, but, you know, Jussie Smollett seems like he's kicking and screaming at this point. You called him a narcissist yesterday.
I find his ego incredible. The idea that he would take the stand in this and double down and then triple down when 90% of us don't really believe him. He doesn't seem to read the climate. He takes the stand because he needs to be out there. And let me tell you something. He will appeal whatever decision if it goes against him. We will never hear the end of the Smollett trial, ever.
He's facing 3 years in jail, so I mean, I would be kicking and screaming too, but, you know, it's a lot. He went from actor on one of the biggest shows on Fox to 3 years in jail. That's a totally different lifestyle. So he better think up something if he came up with this stupid plan for $3,500.
I'm with you guys 100%, but just to be devil's advocate.
Oh, please. I want to know what possible other side you could go.
I'm going, why not play off of people's social issues right now?
Right.
The N-word has nothing to do with this case, but look over here. We're not talking about what he did. Now we're using that word. He's a gay black man. Let's look over here again. We're not talking about the case. We're talking on people's instincts and their social cues that we're going through as Americans right now. He's not on trial for what he did. Now he's making a trial about what we're doing socially and fighting each other for. I don't blame him. Use the justice system for what it is. If you have a way out and you could use social issues to get out of whatever you got yourself into, do you blame him?
No, but that's why our justice system needs reform.
I agree with you guys. I'm playing the devil. I got to point it out.
But that's why I say over and over and over again, I don't understand how certain people can create whatever defense they want. They literally sit in a conference room and come up with a defense that they believe will convince the jury. How is that ethical? And you're only allowed to do that is if you have money or influence.
Yes.
How is that legal?
It is, because it's not legal. And if the jury decides he can be perjured, he's lying. He can be perjured.
I think we need reform.
Hey, I think that's desperate. I think that's pretty desperate.
What's desperate?
Reform.
No, that's a good point.
We desperately
didn't articulate it properly.
No, like an adverb. We desperately need reform. Yes.
I've been called desperate before.
Me too, hon.
That was a trigger
Me
word.
too, honey. Me too.
Coming up on DBL, Kim Cattrall may not be in the Sex and the City reboot, but her character Samantha is. We'll tell you what we know. But first, Google reveals its most searched phrases of the year. Stick around to see if any of your searches made the list.
Closed captioning provided by...
It's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You just pick out your item, snap a couple of photos, and boom, it's up.
All right, Tori here with Lindsay. I need you guys to write me in if you can see this. If you can see this now and we're on live, write in, I can see you, okay? I'm concerned I'm doing a lot of this and no one's watching.
Wait, doing what?
I want to make sure are we?
I see comments.
No. In the breaks. I'm not sure we're going with the, and I think I'm talking to nobody.
Oh. No people are watching the breaks?
I hope that someone's listening. No, none yet. I'm worried.
Okay, but I have a question.
Okay.
What if Jussie Smollett gets off as innocent? Would you be surprised?
Yes.
You be surprised?
Yes, because no matter how rich you are, when it smells like that and the whole country...
But there has to be a shadow of a doubt, right, for the jury. And this trial got really convoluted with him saying he's kissing the Nigerian man in the back.
Sexual.
That leads to a lot of different motives for somebody.
Well, clearly, you're not going to probably be hooking up with someone who's going to put a noose on you later. I think it really breaks down that he knew these guys
well. But a shadow of a doubt is what you need. You don't have to prove.
There's one more. I was telling Dre.
I mean, I don't know.
They can see us. They can see us. Yay! They can see us. Okay, sorry.
Are you going to drop it if he's innocent? Or are you going to leave him alone and say, okay, he's innocent? That's what our justice system says. Or are you still going to not say you didn't believe this?
Oh, I will 1,000% say I don't believe him. Because he said he's innocent, I'm not going to... Here's the thing, I won't... I will hold my opinion strongly. I disbelieve him. I don't believe OJ is innocent. I strongly believe he almost decapitated her. Sorry to go there. I really think he brutally murdered her, and we're just all like making jokes about it all the time. Sorry, I took a bummer tone.
Took a serious.
I am so sorry. By the way,
jump in there. I don't have any
someone said we love when the inner Jew comes out, and she goes,
"No, I don't know.
I know, honey. I know. Being called desperate is a trigger. I totally
desperately.
I don't know. I
played into that. We all know each other so well. I knew Tori was referring to the justice system, but it's fun to pick and poke. You know.
I've been hands off with Tori.
However you're celebrating, make DBL a part of your holiday cheer.
What's up, homie?
I can tell she was feeling something, I tell.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Would you have been cooking naked?
Cooking?
Yes, on our last show.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, am I right? Say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got chills.
Me too.
Clearly.
DBL is all. Welcome back to DBL. Before we get to the Google searches, we're getting so many comments welcoming Lindsay back.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
Great to have you back. You've been
I'm so happy to be back. It's still crazy, but I'm happy to be here because it gives me a little break. Anybody who's a parent understands what I'm going through right now.
I love talking to you about like parenting and stuff.
Yeah, it's like my whole world changed.
Yep. All right, so Google is out with their annual list of top searches, and it seems like a lot of you were pretty interested in sports and news. So the top Google search was for the NBA, then DMX, Gabby Petito, Kyle Rittenhouse, and Brian Laundrie. The top people searched this year include Kyle Rittenhouse, followed by Tiger Woods, Alec Baldwin, Travis Scott, and Simone Biles. And look at these top how to be searches. People Googled how to be eligible for the stimulus check, how to be more attractive, how to be happy alone, how to be a baddie, and how to be a good boyfriend. Tori, do you know what a baddie is?
Okay, I learned.
Oh, okay.
I thought baddie meant like brave. Hey, you're a baddie. No. Okay, we all don't need to laugh. We got it. Tori doesn't know. It means a baddie is a girl who's always slaying.
Who texted you this?
Michael Dean, our producer.
I thought you asked the baddie.
He said, make sure you say this. A baddie is a girl who's always slaying the game and always on fleek. I didn't realize someone who's like,
on fleek is not allowed to be used anymore.
Like 10
that's
years
like
ago.
I messed up.
Michael Dean, you messed up by saying on
Michael
fleek.
Dean.
Wow. Poor Michael Dean.
Come on now, this is 1981.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Michael Dean, can we get a shot of you? You doing okay? But
what surprise? Oh, there he is. We love you, Michael Dean. Always trying to keep us hip. Okay, so what did you guys think about the searches? Did any of them surprise you? What do you think should have been on there?
I hope Colin searched how to be a good boyfriend. That was a.
Did you see that? Did anybody look that up?
No, I
did with Michael Dean again. And let me tell you, it's almost like how embarrassing that people had to look it up because it's like
there's actual rules.
Oh my gosh, listen to them.
Oh God.
Be patient.
Oh Lord.
Ask them how they are.
Oh God.
Loosen the reins.
Oh, the reins.
Yes.
The reins.
Yes, it's terrible. But I guess I'd rather have somebody look it up than just be mean.
I have to say that how to be happy alone really hit me because that's such a pandemic Google search of how can I live in solitude that I'm not used to, and I just want to give a shout out to anyone who's going through that. I'm not good alone. I'm trying to be better alone. Like I'm going to dinners now alone.
Beautiful.
And sitting. I'm not comfortable with it. I bring a book, but I'm trying to go.
That's good. That's hard.
It's
Every
really
time
hard
I go
for
to
me.
dinner alone, I'm very awkward.
I'm very
I travel
awkward.
a lot, and I was just sitting there. And I told my friend when I was single, I never was meeting anybody. She's like, "Well, what were you ordering?" I was like, "Oh, mozzarella sticks." She said, "That's exactly why you weren't meeting anybody." Like, are you 12?
Chicken tenders.
Really quickly, what shocked you that wasn't on the list?
I don't know. I Googled some weird things at my desk just for the show.
Like what?
For the show.
Like
I'm like getting into detail. So like if I ever if I ever got arrested and then I check my search history,
you're in
what are
trouble.
you searching weird stuff for? It's for work. It's work purposes.
This seems
How
weird.
weird. We all have the same topics.
I know. I don't.
What are you searching
It's the
over
same.
there?
You have weird stuff on yours too.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, how can you tell me?
Because we all doing the same stories.
Okay, we gotta.
At least I don't go to dinner by myself.
Oh my gosh! Cheers to me.
All right, enough. Serious story coming up on DBL. A mother is thrown in jail for grieving her daughter's murder. I cannot imagine. You have to hear this incredible woman's story of healing and fighting for change. Stay with us.
I have at least 20.
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine losing your child and then getting thrown in jail because of it. Earlier, we sat down with Naisha Beeman, a warrior mom from Chicago who lost her 18-year-old to gun violence. Take a look.
My daughter, Jaya Beeman, was senselessly killed at a convenience store in 2020. I received a call from a friend of mine saying someone had got shot that she knew in the convenience store on 79th and Avalon. I looked at geolocation and she was in that area. I was met with detectives. They didn't give me any information. They just told me to go to the University of Chicago Hospital. And they was like, well, somebody got to go see her, view the body. She was like looked like in a maintenance storage closet and just like thrown there. No post-mortem care, no care, make her look presentable to the family. And when I saw her, I passed out, and it's like I was having an out-of-body experience watching another mom go through it. I heard someone tell that same mom, which was me, this is an inappropriate way to grieve. I was arrested, spent overnight in jail. They was just, mean and cruel bystanders. Like, wait, her daughter just was murdered. And then the detective, he was like, he don't give a F. I mean, it's like it's nothing to them. Shootings are very common in Chicago. We're looking at roughly 700 killings in Chicago, murders this year. Jaya was 18 when she was murdered. She was going to Malcolm X College studying nursing. She wanted to become a nurse like me. I had my life all figured out before I lost my child, but I had to sit down and revamp everything. And this is who I am now. I'm just trying to reach as many as we can. Jaya always was the kid that cheered you on. So I hope she don't think I'm doing too much. That's what she said, but I don't be doing too much.
Welcome to DBL, Naisha. Tell us how proud you were of Jaya, knowing that she wanted to follow in your footsteps and become a nurse to help others.
I was, I never pushed it on her, but once she decided, I was like, yay, because I know that would be a field that she can excel in, and then I can also guide her and help her.
I do have to ask, because you have other children that you love, and I'm sure you're equally worried about growing up in a place where urban terrorism is so prevalent. So how do you deal with that? How do you mitigate that? Like, walk us through what your fears are as a parent.
My son is 18. He want to go out, explore, be a teenager. I constantly say, hey, you cannot sit in the car, come straight in the house, or don't sit and wait for your friends too long in the car because you can get struck by a stray bullet in the car.
I wanted to ask you this, and most respectfully, what moment do you consider your rock bottom?
The moment you lose a child is rock bottom. But when I was arrested, dragged out of the hospital, arrested by Chicago police because I was not grieving appropriately, sitting in the jail cell while my daughter was deceased, murdered, that was my lowest point in my life.
Well, you have really taken a very traumatic experience that will be with you for the rest of your life, and put that into action. So you aren't just talking about it, you're being about it, because you started Warrior Moms of Chicago and the Jaya Beeman Foundation.
I just felt as though I had to do something. I mean, I'm tired of the gun violence. I'm tired of the senselessness of, kids getting killed. You can't be outside, you can't play. So I started the Jaya Beeman Foundation to instill hope and build confidence in our adolescent and young adults so they can know they don't have to resort to violence.
Well, you've done a lot of the legwork on this, and I need you to tell us what we can do to help.
A lot of the moms, we try our best to get it in front of media so it's something or someone in power can see it and do something about the violence. We take donations, but we want volunteers. We want solutions. We're all we have right now.
We want to thank you so much for putting your heart and your story out there. DBL Nation, you can support by visiting thejayabeemanfoundation.org for more information. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verify no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got a comment for us?
Yes, a lot of people were happy that I'm eating alone and they're trying to as well.
Well, you've done it once.
I've done it once.
You found the exact comments that aligned with you.
No, Courtney sent me these. Okay, she says, Katie said, I've never gone to a restaurant, but I have sat at the bar many times by myself. Something at the bar is like not being alone. So I can try that.
I love sitting at the bar and talking to the bartender. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Jonah Hill is calling Meryl Streep the greatest of all time when it comes to acting. But do you agree? And the best moments from live in front of a studio audience, who made surprise appearances and who returned to their original role. Stay with us.
This new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, meaning fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Passaretti agree.
We're seeing very similar presentations in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection.
I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all 3 doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. No.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Yeah. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Lindsay, and Tori. We got Lindsay here, everybody.
Hey. I missed you guys.
And how now? Kinsley is almost 4 months, right?
Almost. She's going through a crazy sleep regression. I talked to you a lot about it. Jeff thinks this is hilarious because I was like living my life freely, and now I'm like, Jeff, help me. What should I do?
Sam always talk, but it's something that you could kind of complain, but solve a problem at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
But Kinsley's an angel. When I was with her,
yeah, okay, that's what everyone says.
Did not do a peep. Maybe she just likes me.
Yeah, it just must be you, not me. She's torturing me.
We'll bring our kids to Sam's house.
Yeah, exactly.
And drop them off for the day.
You can. All right, so the Facts of Life at Different Strokes came back to TV last night as part of the Live in Front of a Studio Audience series. So for the Facts of Life, Jennifer Aniston received a big applause for her take on Blair Warner. That's Gabrielle Union, by the way, playing Tootie. And then guest stars Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Jon Stewart broke character playing the boyfriends, okay? But everyone's talking about Lisa Whelchel, who kicked off the show singing the Facts of Life theme song along with some of the other original co-stars. You guys have to see this. Oh my gosh. Speaking of OG cast members, Todd Bridges appeared at the start of the Different Strokes episode. Snoop Dogg guest starred as Willis's friend Vernon. And Kevin Hart delivered Arnold Jackson's iconic line, "Watch."
This is my room too. See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts. What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, so Jeff was I'm going to give something away to our audience. Jeff was so into this last night that you had to text our executive producer because you were so, thrilled about it.
Yeah, because my wife doesn't care, right? and so I wanted to text somebody that appreciated it. Listen, I loved this last night. It was so nostalgic. I loved different strokes going up. I actually, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, I kind of remember this episode, right?
Weird.
Facts of Life, I watched on and off. But the characters being older, loved it. We talked about that yesterday.
Blair looks the same, though. Let's be
I know,
honest.
she does.
She looks
Impossible.
She has not aged. That woman has not aged.
I know.
Wow.
And of course, Kim Fields,
friend of the show. Yeah.
Friend of the show, but doesn't age
at all.
At all. She dropped a little thing for her new movie. You know,
Jimmy
Jimmy Kimmel kind of dismissed it. But anyways, back to the show. It was amazing. I love that it was live. I have such an appreciation for live television, live theater, and they crushed it. It was so good. Norman Lear was there, 99 years old.
I heard he cursed.
Dropped an F-bomb at the top.
Oh,
What better way to kick off? Oh, I can't?
No.
Oh, well, at least he didn't say the word.
You can't even say that anymore?
No.
Nope.
Welcome to talk shows in 20 years. Do you agree? Yes. No. Bye. That's it. I can't say anything anymore. Anyways, I'm over it. What do you think?
What show do you hope to see next be live? A nostalgic show that you grew up with?
I really love Martin. That was my favorite, and I feel like it's easy because it took place mostly in his apartment to do in front of a studio audience. There are other shows that I like, but they seem a little more complicated. I thought that it wasn't going to be that good, but I was pleasantly surprised when I watched
hilarious,
it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I would go with Cheers, only because you could do a good studio audience. Or Chris, our other executive producer, was saying MASH would be interesting.
And Three's Company.
And use John Ritter's son and flip over a couch. May he rest. What a great talent he was.
That is
May he rest. Sorry.
We heard the first
It's a
name.
series,
sorry.
so there'll be more.
Yes, there will definitely be more. Okay, speaking of series, the new Sex and the City series, and Just Like That, debuts on HBO Max tomorrow. Kristen Davis was on the Today Show. She said the show will address why Kim Cattrall's character Samantha is not on the show. Watch.
We love Samantha. Samantha is never not going to be a part in some way, right? So there is respect for Samantha. There is, it's part of the story.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite the
We
tease.
would never disrespect Samantha.
All right.
And Chris Noth, who plays Mr. Big, told The Guardian that he found the apparent feud between SJP and Kim to be, quote, sad and uncomfortable. He added that he feels protective of SJP and was not happy about Kim calling her out on social media. Whoa. What do we think about this constant feuding rather than focusing? And I know a lot of people are focusing on the series, but what do you make of the constant feuding?
It feels a little girl catfighty to me. And I don't know if you guys know what that means, but I guess a girl, or if you're a woman, you understand maybe more, but girls were always sort of clashed against each other. You're never on the same team, right? And maybe that's changing this climate, but it was always like cat fights. I hate you. I can't support Sam. Sam can't support Lindsay. That would never happen. We have to take each other down. Well, we love each other and we support each other and we fix each other's crowns. Is that the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does feel like Mean Girls a little bit, because you were saying even earlier, like, they didn't even address Kim Cattrall by her
they say
name.
Samantha,
They're like Samantha, and even the way that it's coming up. We talked about you can read energy, and so you can read us being on TV. You can read people being a little phony or not in the mood. So we try our best to show up on our best energy, and it's just like she seemed like she still has some kind of issue with Kim Cattrall, and she was just trying to be PC about it, like saying yes, thank you, like you were just talking about. She was doing that whole thing.
So you pointed. I didn't want to point it out, but it seemed like you weren't expecting that question.
It was awkward.
It was very awkward.
I cringed. And to say Samantha, not Kim Cattrall, was very deliberate. We will never disrespect Samantha.
Yeah.
But this girl, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it,
Me
though.
too.
I really am. As much as I'm going to miss Samantha, though, I loved that character.
Great.
I know. Oh, well, we're going to have to tune in to see. So Jonah Hill confused Meryl Streep by paying her a compliment. Jonah, who's starring with Meryl in the new film Don't Look Up, told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show that when he called Meryl the GOAT, as in greatest of all time, she thought he meant the animal. Watch.
We're doing a press conference, and she's like, you know, and Jonah is so comfortable with me. He's been calling me a goat all week. And Jennifer Lawrence explained to her, she was telling Jennifer about this, how and she's so cool, she wasn't even offended by it. She was just like, I guess he like loves me and is calling me a goat.
That's adorable.
First of all, what a great place Jonah Hill is in life. You're just talking about, I did a movie with Meryl Streep, Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. And you're wearing that outfit?
Because he surfs every day.
You crushed life, Jonah Hill. It's over.
But let me tell you, I watched the rest of that interview, and I was thinking the same thing, like, dude, this guy's on top. And I will just say he went into the self-doubt that went into him being cast next to co-starring Meryl Streep, and he gave a whole take on self-doubt and what the voice is. He's a really introspective guy. I love Jonah Hill's take. He's very into his feelings. I just watched the interview. Great interview.
Who, if you could pick any GOAT, as far as acting goes? Maybe it's Meryl Streep, but who would you pick?
Viola Davis. Yeah. There's no one better than Viola Davis.
Her cry is epic.
Everything about it.
That cry is like,
no matter what. Her saying good morning, I'm like, she's like, good morning.
I know in her speeches too, like her acceptance speeches.
They kill me.
I think, speaking of Viola Davis, I thought Denzel really took it from me when he did Fences with Viola Davis.
I was gonna say that
because that was really a one scene situation, and they both like made me feel like I was there and understood the emotions. And I know I've been hearing Denzel since I was younger. All the ladies in my life are like, Denzel. So I think naturally I just had to go with what my mom and everybody was saying.
The woman
Denzel's
that I used to babysit for was really close with Denzel. So he used to come over and he told me two things that, first of all, he was the nicest guy on the planet. And he told me two things about his acting career because at the time, her son, Cynthia, who's been on the show before, her son wanted to be an actor. So he told Christian two things that made his movies his own. So apparently he has a broken pinky, and he showed us. His pinky's like this. He will like do scenes so people can see the pinky. Weird.
He makes it part of the character.
And then in every movie he does this to something. So when you watch a movie that he does, keep an eye out. I guess he does this maybe to someone's head, to a window. He always does his little kiss in every movie. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And he's such a nice guy. I know. Who's your GOAT?
I like to hear, first of all, I like to hear when people really idolize somebody, how great that they are in real life.
Because that's not
very
always
important.
the case.
Not at all.
Nope.
That's very important. And he's super inspirational. Denzel's a great pick. He is a GOAT. But Leonardo DiCaprio, I love him. Or should I say Jonah Hill's friend? I mean, I watch everything.
Buds.
There's great actors, but I just seen everything Leo does and like it. And that's not the case with every single actor. He really knows how to pick movies.
Look at him with his philanthropy too.
Yeah.
Everything with
Oceans,
the environment. I know. I love Bill Murray. I'm obsessed with Bill Murray. I hope one day he comes on our show. I know he doesn't even have a cell phone.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you can't. If you want to book Bill Murray, you have to call his 1-800 number. And if he decides to hear what he's on his own.
Why don't you call it on the show and leave a message?
That's something that Chris and I have been working on.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll leave as many messages as possible. That'll be a segment.
But like leave one that everybody could hear. So like we could all hear.
Yes.
And you do it.
Yes, we would
What do you
patch
mean a
it
segment?
through.
You need to like prompter that up?
He wants you to dial it up right now and put it on speaker.
Right now?
We got to set up with the speaker.
Set it up with the speaker. And I don't know if I have his
What's the
1-800
microphone
number.
you're wearing? What do you mean a speaker? He's not going to answer.
Wearing.
Did I say that like Christopher Walken?
Yes, you did sound like Christopher Walken. All right, coming up on DBL, a man loses thousands of dollars after being conned by his best friend. How a woman was dubbed Queen of the Con in True Crime Chronicles next.
Closed captioning provided by
Super.
To a microphone. It doesn't sound like crisp audio that
But these guys are thinking like he's going to answer. It's going to say leave a message. Beep. Do you need that?
And here we want to hear a celebrity say, leave a message, beep. That's what the viewers are.
I don't even think it's him.
Here we go again. It's a sound alike.
Let's call. What's the number?
Hey,
what's the number? I'm going to call her now.
He knows. We're going to.
You know it by heart?
1-800 Bill Murray. No, it's a 1-800 number.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it.
Oh my God, you're so adamant about this.
Yeah.
I start doing this every Friday.
We are?
Leaving messages.
He's gonna go. That's how Ellen got on the cover of Oprah's magazine.
Yeah, she dresses her for Halloween.
Yeah, she kept asking every week, can I be on the cover? You had never had anybody on the cover. And finally Oprah was like, come on, man.
And then Rosie O'Donnell did the same thing a long time ago when she had her talk show about Tom Cruise.
And then Tom Cruise came on.
And then Tom Cruise finally came on. She kept saying, I want you to be a guest. I want you to be a guest.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell also said, I will not allow Willem Dafoe on my show because he's scary. me.
Okay, so I'm putting my request in Oprah. We want you on the show.
Oprah?
We want you on Daily Blast Live. So can that go out there to the universe? That's my one time.
You know, when I was in England doing the Meghan Markle, where I was just at a pub, whatever, I saw Hoda Kotb walk by with Savannah while we were in Windsor, and I go, "What's up, Hoda?" And she goes, "DBL, Daily Blast Live, we know you guys." And I should have been like, "Yeah," and I went, "Really?" I was so excited.
You gotta be like humble, but still like, you were very humble. You gotta be cool humble.
I was green. It was a little green. So anyway, that was exciting. But I think Oprah knows of us.
Well, I meant to say that Jonah Hill is humble. I like that.
He is so humble.
That's what you said when you were talking about the rest of his interview.
But he talks about self-doubt, like
with someone.
I know. Kelly wants to take it off.
Don't break up a happy home.
Watch it. It's all about what your voice of self-doubt, and he almost didn't do the movie. It's really, really cool. He's very open. And remember when Jimmy Kimmel goes, "You smell good. I didn't picture a guy like you would smell good." And he goes, "Why would you say that? Why would you do that? That hurts my feelings." Very transparent, very real. Jonah Hill? What is this? I'm seeing you. Is that right? I fixed your crown.
I've been seeing you, Jonah.
Mayor Smith came into the life of reality TV producer Jonathan Walton as an angel, promising friendship in a time of need. But one day, after years at each other's side, Jonathan learned the terrible truth about his so-called best friend. The story of the Irish heiress is today's True Crime Chronicles.
Residents of a Los Angeles apartment building meet to tackle a pressing matter. A legal dispute has barred them from using the building's swimming pool. Jonathan Walton, a resident of the building, discusses with his neighbors next steps they should take. One person catches his attention, a new member. Mayor Smith makes a memorable impression on the group.
Her name was Mayor Smith. She introduced herself as Mayor Smith. She moved into my building in 2013. She came to one of the meetings and she stole the show. Everybody loved her. She was funny. She was vivacious. She told dirty jokes. And she seemed so kind. She went around the room and offered to help everyone.
Soon, the pair begin what Jonathan believes will become a lifelong friendship.
In a very short time, I fell in love with her. You know, as much as any gay man can love a woman, she became like a sister to me. You know, when I confided in her that part of my family had disowned me for being gay, she pounced. With tears in her eyes, she told me, "Well, my family disowned me too because they're trying to get me disinherited."
Mayor reveals to Jonathan that she is an Irish heiress and set to inherit millions of dollars. But Mayor says the DA has frozen her assets, preventing her from accepting the money. Mayor needs financial assistance until her inheritance arrives and asks for help.
I loaned her almost, $100,000 to aid her legal fight to get her inheritance.
He begins to suspect that the woman, who has been his best friend for over 4 years, may not be who she claims to be.
She'd created dozens of Google Voice accounts to create phone numbers that she would text herself as, and create email accounts that she would email herself as, and show people, look what this barrister emailed me, look what my cousin Finton emailed me. None of that was real. It was all smoke and mirrors.
Mayor Smith's house of cards begins to disintegrate when she makes the outlandish claim that authorities have jailed her for money laundering. When Jonathan digs deeper into her claims, he learns through public records that authorities have actually arrested her for felony grand theft. When Jonathan confronts her, she denies the accusations. Jonathan quickly ends his friendship with Mayor and goes to the police.
I was angry and I went to police and they kind of told me there was nothing they could do. Good luck. So I started my own investigation. I started a blog. I started a website, jonathanwalton.com, just to share my story and warn people about this woman. And sure enough, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, other victims of Mayor Smith started contacting me through my website with the craziest stories of how she scammed them.
Jonathan Walton started a podcast, Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, to tell his story and expose Mayor Smith to the world. Earlier, we caught up with him to chat about the case. Take a look.
I have to ask you, what personality traits do you think that you possess that made her target you?
You see, I've since come to learn con artists are like sharks. They're not targeting any one person. They're targeting everyone. Whoever is in their sphere is a target, you know, and they do it indiscriminately. So she didn't target me. She just happened to move into my building and become my neighbor. And we had a meeting to discuss this huge problem we were having, and she had all the solutions, and she was so kind and funny and clever and smart, and she was so lovable. Con artists are lovable.
She's conned dozens of people, but you're the only one who spoke out. Why do you think people are embarrassed? Why is that?
I think the majority of con artist victims are, yes, embarrassed. They're shackled by the fear of, what are people gonna think? You know, they're scared that people are going to think less of them because they fell for a con. But, you know, as an openly gay man, I came out when I was 30, and I already divorced myself from caring what people think because, you know, the majority of the world does not hold gay people in high esteem particularly. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that fear of what are people going to think. So that never held me back.
What did she take from you that's harder to get back? Like when I asked that, I mean, like emotionally, physically, like what did she take from Jonathan?
Well, you know, I don't trust anyone ever now. I background check everyone new that comes into my life. And even people I thought I knew, I background check all of them. And I found out some pretty amazing things. Not that they're con artists, but the truth of the matter is, when I met Mayor Smith, if I'd have just run a background check on her off the bat, I would have found all these felonies in other states for fraud and grand theft and you know, fabricating documents. She was charged with all these crimes over the years. But how many times do you think to run a background check on someone you meet? You never do, but now I do that for everyone. So I'm forever suspicious of everyone.
How about something for like me and Al and our audience? I know maybe not to run something extensive as a background check, just something to look out for. Are there signs that someone's trying to con you?
They are everywhere. Here's a red flag number one. Kindness. If you meet someone new and they're just super kind and they want to pay for things and they want to buy you gifts and they want to become your friend real quick, there's a good chance you're being set up for a con because no one's that kind. That was Mare. She was super kind, but you know, she was grooming people to con them. And another good red flag is drama. Listen, bad things happen to people all the time. People's, you know, children die. People get raped at a bar. People get cancer. But every bad thing doesn't happen to the same person at the same time. You know, con artists like to create a lot of drama and confusion, and they like to rope you in because I've said this many, many times. Con artists, they're not smarter than you. They're not going to outsmart you. Con artists outfeel you. They get into your heart. They use your emotion to scam you. So if they can ensnare you in tons of drama and have you care about them and want to help them, that's you know, they're half the way to conning you because once you start making decisions based on your heart, your brain checks out. You know, love is the most powerful thing there is in the world. And if a con artist can get you to love them, you'll do crazy things to help them because you think you're trying to do the right thing, you know?
Jonathan, very informative. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. And if you'd like to hear more about Jonathan's story, listen to Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, available on any podcast player. Jonathan, thanks again, man.
And Jonathan, you can trust us. We're
pleasure.
safe.
Thank you. Yes, great. That's good to hear.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Jonathan.
This was when I noticed how
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you have leg pain, there is relief. So we're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to the CDC, osteoarthritis is the most common arthritis affecting Americans, with the most common areas of the pain being the legs, the knees, and the hips. The best thing you can do is to get moving. Researchers say as soon as you stop moving, your joints actually become stiffer. So try swimming, because getting in the pool eliminates stress on your leg joints. Also, QB is another great way to get moving, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Watch out!
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, alive virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verified no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Tomorrow on DBL, it's Christmas time with Kyle Richards. The actress and housewife tells us why she almost skipped Paris Hilton's wedding. And why are missing people of color's cases ignored? We talk live with the founder of the Black and Missing Foundation to find out. That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
Okay, so people really liked in the live in front of a studio audience, I can't pronounce CTSA, one person said, we love the retro commercials. And if you didn't know, in the commercials, they did like 80s commercials. Cool. And Alfonso Ribeiro did an Oscar Mayer commercial. It was really well done. So if you haven't done that, I would suggest looking back.
Everyone's craving nostalgia, right?
Really true.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Study this new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Passaretti agree.
We're seeing very similar presentations in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection.
I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all 3 doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Disturbing new accusations in the Gelane Maxwell trial. From recruiting in nightclubs to taking nude photos of underage girls, will the jury see Gelane as Epstein's partner in crime? A mother loses her daughter to gun violence and is arrested for grieving. How she's devoting her life to protect others.
And it's like I was having an out-of-body experience.
Imagine your best friend turning into your worst nightmare. How one man got completely conned by the woman he was closest to in True Crime Chronicles. And the star-studded lineup on Live in front of a studio audience, from the original cast to surprise guest appearances. Did they pull it off?
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham. No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, December 8th. I'm here with Lindsay, Jeff, and Tori. All right, so this is a trial that you, Jeff, has specifically been following, but we do have an update on the sex trafficking trial of Jillaine Maxwell. One of her accusers, who is going by Carolyn, testified that Maxwell felt her breasts and told her she had a great body for Epstein and his friends. She said she was paid $300 to visit Epstein's home and went more than 100 times between the ages of 14 and 18. Now, the prosecution also presented new photos of Epstein and Maxwell together, like these showing Maxwell massaging his feet. There are also more photos of them together, sometimes kissing, which the prosecution says goes to show the nature of the relationship, characterizing them as partners in crime. I also want you guys to take a look at these photos of Epstein's massage room, where several of his alleged victims said they were abused. Now, meantime, a woman named Sarah Ransom says she was recruited into Epstein's alleged sex ring in 2006. She was on CBS this morning talking about her experience. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I have so many examples of how Gelane not only tortured me and abused me, but other survivors. She grabbed my arm and marched me into Jeffrey's room, where I was then raped. So when she says that she had nothing to do and she had no idea, she was a facilitator. She was Jeffrey's right-hand woman. She orchestrated everything.
Okay, Jeff, you followed this case very closely. Do you think that we're actually going to learn anything from Gelane?
Here's the thing. I want to I want to direct people towards Filthy Rich on Netflix, right? If you're interested in this case at all, watch that. It'll break everything down for you.
Netflix, you said?
And on Netflix. It's a documentary all about this, right? She is completely at fault, okay? The way the jury's handling this, I don't know how it's not talked about more. They're making these women who are brave enough to come forward. That's what this day and age is all about, right? Women coming forward. They're trying to confuse them on the stand, twist their words around. There's one, I listened to a whole podcast about it. One woman's like, Jeffrey came in with Gelane, and then she testifies, and they're like, Gelane came in with Jeffrey, and they're like, well, which one was it? You're a liar. Wow. They put her credibility on the line. When you're putting yourself out there, they won't even say their names. It's Jane Doe. This woman was brave enough to come forward and be on TV. There's dozens and dozens and dozens, not just one or two, there's dozens of victims. And Gelane allegedly molested a lot of them herself, right. Not just Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't like that they're saying she's going to take the fall for Jeffrey Epstein. No, that's not what I'm saying.
She's culpable too.
Absolutely right. Culpable. Absolutely. So the media is twisting this whole thing around. It's not getting the attention that it needs. And then if you want to go into the names that are attached to the Jeffrey Epstein case, when I'm talking about princes, presidents, people around the world that have been to this island that we're not getting any quotes from, there was one interview done. One interview, Prince Andrew. How did that turn out? We don't want to dig a little deeper? We're just going to let that go? Okay. I just think we need to talk about it a little bit more, so I thank you guys for letting me have that little rant.
No, nobody understands I feel like, and I hate saying this out loud because I always want to be optimistic, I feel like we're never going to know Lindsay.
And I think there's like an endless amount of alleged victims, and I think only, like you said, whoever's brave enough to come forward. Even with the Sarah Ransom, who we watched her interview on CBS, she said that she was shamed immediately when she first came forward, and she decided to write her book and tell more because she felt like she's only as sick as her secrets, and that was a quote, that she needed to free herself. And so to see that people are actually coming forward and being met with what we know always happens to a lot of alleged victims, and which is why they stay silent, we'll never know the extent to how far Gelane allegedly went. And to see her calling herself and her attorneys calling her a scapegoat, it's just two totally different stories, and I think everybody wants to get to the bottom of it, because it's totally different to get blamed for Jeffrey Epstein's misdeeds and to be complicit or completely as culpable as him in all of this.
Okay, let me just say, as for the defense attorney, that's what they're going to do. They're going to blame the dead guy, and I hate to say that, but I don't have any care for Jeffrey Epstein. They're going to put it on him. That's a great way to divert it. It's not going to work, in my opinion. And let me tell you something about that massage room that they just showed. It wasn't like once a week, twice a week. Gelane would recruit and hold down girls, allegedly, hour after hour, sessions in the same day, over and over and over. He allegedly had no pleasure from it. It was just a constant addictive, and she would hold him down and be complicit. She's not just a little partner. She is complicit in this. Now, I agree with you. There is a lid on this. We are not hearing a lot of this, and that's because very important people control a lot of different forms of communication and media involved as well, and I think that's why we're not hearing it. But Gelane is as guilty as he is, in my opinion. She molested allegedly and raped and helped. She's complicit, completely complicit.
And I wonder if she goes to jail, victims are going to feel satisfied. I know Gayle King asked Sarah that, but Jeffrey Epstein's dead, and that's not really giving you the closure you're looking for, like somebody being behind bars for life.
I hope. Listen, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the jury and what the judge decides, but I really do hope that she spends the rest of her life behind bars, considering what I've heard from some of those victims.
Maybe a couple secrets get out there.
Yes, please. All right, so speaking of trials and closing arguments today in the trial of Jussie Smollett, the prosecutor called Jussie a serial liar and said there is no question he orchestrated the attack. Yesterday, Jussie asked the prosecution to stop saying the N-word while reading texts between Jussie and the Osundaro brothers. Before I even speak my mind, what did you think about that, Lindsay?
I actually thought that it worked in Jussie's favor because I don't think that the N-word was necessary to actually spell it out or say it out loud here. You could have said the N-word and been just as effective since it was banter allegedly between friends. I think when you look at something like the O.J. Simpson case, when the N-word was a staple in that argument, then that's when you might need to say it.
Like Mark Furman using it means something
exactly.
different.
It's totally different if somebody using it as a racial slur, but in this, it was a conversation between two black men.
Right.
And so I think that Jussie actually has a leg to stand on. Now, whether or not he's going to become innocent because of that, I don't know. You know, everybody's looking at him a little crazy right now, and I think he's ready to take down the whole ship, no matter who it is. He's going to use anything he can because right now I think I'll say 90% of the world, and that's like a low number, I'm guessing, is not believing him.
Yeah, go ahead. I think when he says the whole ship, I think Don Lemon might be part of that ship, like you said.
Right, Don Lemon is probably, I think that even though I believe in journalism, I think Don Lemon's probably at home like, what do I have to do with this? You know, as a black gay man, I just was simply trying to look out for my friend. I probably broke a lot of rules working for CNN specifically, but like, why are you throwing me under the bus? You know, I just think that's probably what's going on. I'm not sure, but, you know, Jussie Smollett seems like he's kicking and screaming at this point. You called him a narcissist yesterday.
I find his ego incredible. The idea that he would take the stand in this and double down and then triple down when 90% of us don't really believe him. He doesn't seem to read the climate. He takes the stand because he needs to be out there. And let me tell you something. He will appeal whatever decision if it goes against him. We will never hear the end of the Smollett trial, ever.
He's facing 3 years in jail, so I mean, I would be kicking and screaming too, but, you know, it's a lot. He went from actor on one of the biggest shows on Fox to 3 years in jail. That's a totally different lifestyle. So he better think up something if he came up with this stupid plan for $3,500.
I'm with you guys 100%. But just to be devil's advocate.
Oh, please. I want to know what possible other side you could go.
I'm going, why not play off of people's social issues right now?
Right.
The N-word has nothing to do with this case, but look over here. We're not talking about what he did. Now we're using that word. He's a gay black man. Let's look over here again. We're not talking about the case. We're talking on people's instincts and their social cues that we're going through as Americans right now. He's not on trial for what he did. Now he's making the trial about what we're doing socially and fighting each other for. I don't blame him. Use the justice system for what it is. If you have a way out and you could use social issues to get out of whatever you got yourself into, do you blame him?
No, but that's why our justice system needs reform.
Again, I agree with you guys. I'm playing the devil. I got to point it out.
But that's why I say over and over and over again, I don't understand how certain people can create whatever defense they want. They literally sit in a conference room and come up with a defense that they believe will convince the jury. How is that ethical? And you're only allowed to do that is if you have money or influence.
Yes.
How is that legal?
It is, because it's not legal. It's not legal. And if the jury decides he can be perjured, he's lying. He can be perjured.
I think we need reform.
Hey, I think that's desperate. I think that's pretty desperate.
What's desperate?
Reform.
No, that's a good point.
We desperately
didn't articulate it properly.
No, like an adverb. We desperately need reform. Yes.
I've been called desperate before.
Me too, hon.
That was a trigger
Me
word.
too, honey. Me too.
Coming up on DBL, Kim Cattrall may not be in the Sex and the City reboot, but her character Samantha is. We'll tell you what we know. But first, Google reveals its most searched phrases of the year. Stick around to see if any of your searches made the list.
Closed captioning provided by
It's so easy.
All right, Tori here with Lindsay. I need you guys to write me in if you can see this. If you can see this now and we're on live, write in, I can see you, okay? I'm concerned I'm doing a lot of this and no one's watching.
Wait, doing what?
I want to make sure are we?
I see comments.
No. In the breaks. I'm not sure we're going with and I think I'm talking to nobody.
Oh. No people are watching the breaks.
I hope that someone's listening. No, none yet. I'm worried.
Okay, but I have a question.
Okay.
What if Jussie Smollett gets off as innocent? Would you be surprised?
Yes.
You'd be surprised?
Yes, because no matter how rich you are, when it smells like that and the whole country...
But there has to be a shadow of a doubt, right, for the jury. And this trial got really convoluted with him saying he's kissing the Nigerian man in the back.
That's sexual.
That leads to a lot of different motives for somebody.
Well, clearly, you're not going to probably be hooking up with someone who's going to put a noose on you later. I think it really breaks breaks down that he knew these guys
Like a
well.
shadow of a doubt is all you need. You don't have to prove.
There's one more. I was telling Dre.
I mean, I don't know.
They can see us. They can see us. Yay! They can see us. Okay, sorry.
Are you gonna drop it if he's innocent? Are you gonna leave him alone and say, okay, he's innocent? That's what our justice system says. Or are you still gonna not say you didn't believe this?
Oh, I will 1,000% say I don't believe him. Because he said he's innocent, I'm not gonna, here's the thing, I won't, I will hold my opinion strongly. I disbelieve him. I don't believe OJ is innocent. I strongly believe he almost decapitated her. Sorry to go there. I really think he brutally murdered her, and we're just all like making jokes about it all the time. Sorry, I took a bummer tone.
Took a serious.
I am so sorry. By the way,
jump in there. I don't have any.
Someone said we love when the inner Jew comes out, and she goes,
No, I don't know.
I know, honey, I know. Being called desperate is a trigger. I totally. I knew Tori was referring to the justice system, but it's fun to pick and poke, you know?
I've been hands off with Tori.
However, you're celebrating Make DBL a part of your holiday cheer.
What's up, homie?
I can tell she was feeling something, I tell.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Would you have been cooking naked?
Cooking?
Yes, on our last show.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, am I right? Say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got chills.
Me too.
Clearly.
DBL is always all new every day. Welcome back to DBL. Before we get to the Google searches, we're getting so many comments welcoming Lindsay back.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
Great to have you back. You've been
I'm so happy to be back. It's still crazy, but I'm happy to be here because it gives me a little break. Anybody who's a parent understands what I'm going through right now.
I love talking to you about like parenting and stuff.
Yeah, it's like my whole world changed.
Yep. All right, so Google is out with their annual list of top searches, and it seems like a lot of you were pretty interested in sports and news. So the top Google search was for the NBA, then DMX, Gabby Petito, Kyle Rittenhouse, and Brian Laundrie. The top people searched this year include Kyle Rittenhouse, followed by Tiger Woods, Alec Baldwin, Travis Scott, and Simone Biles. And look at these top how to be searches. People Googled how to be eligible for the stimulus check, how to be more attractive, how to be happy alone, how to be a baddie, and how to be a good boyfriend. Tori, do you know what a baddie is?
Okay, I learned.
Oh, okay.
I thought baddie meant like brave. Hey, you're a baddie. No. Okay, we all don't need to laugh. We got it. Tori doesn't know. It means a baddie is a girl who's always slaying.
Who texted you this?
Michael Dean, our producer.
I thought you asked the baddie.
He said, make sure you say this. A baddie is a girl who's always slaying the game and always on fleek. I didn't realize someone who's like,
on fleek is not allowed to be used
that's
anymore.
Like 10
yeah, that's
years
like
ago.
I messed up.
Michael Dean. You messed up by sending on
Michael
fleek.
Dean.
Wow. Poor Michael Dean.
Come on now, this is 1981.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Michael Dean, can we get a shot of you? You doing okay? But
what surprise? Oh, there he is. We love you, Michael Dean. Always trying to keep us hip. Okay, so what did you guys think about the searches? Did any of them surprise you? What do you think should have been on there?
I hope Colin searched how to be a good boyfriend. That was a.
Did you see that? Did anybody look that up?
No,
I did with Michael Dean again. And let me tell you, it's almost like how embarrassing that people had to look it up because it's like
there's actual rules.
Oh my gosh, listen to them.
Oh God.
Be patient.
Oh Lord.
Ask them how they are.
Oh God.
Loosen the reins.
Oh, the reins.
Yes,
the reins.
Yes, it's terrible. But I guess I'd rather have somebody look it up than just be me.
I have to say that how to be happy alone really hit me because that's such a pandemic Google search of how can I live in solitude that I'm not used to. And I just want to give a shout out to anyone who's going through that. I'm not good alone. I'm trying to be better alone. Like I'm going to dinners now alone.
Beautiful.
Really? And sitting. I'm not comfortable with it. I bring a book, but I'm trying to go.
That's good. That's hard.
It's
Every
really
time
hard
I go
for
to
me.
dinner alone, I'm very awkward.
I'm very
travel
awkward.
a lot, and I was just sitting there. And I told my friend when I was single, I never was meeting anybody. She's like, "Well, what were you ordering?" I was like, "Oh, mozzarella sticks." She said, "That's exactly why you weren't meeting anybody." Like, are you 12?
Chicken tenders.
Really quickly, what shocked you that wasn't on the list?
I don't know. I Googled some weird things at my desk just for the show.
Like what?
What?
For the show.
Like
I'm like getting into detail. So like if I ever if I ever got arrested and then I check my search history,
you're in
we're
trouble.
just searching weird stuff for it. It's for work. It's work purposes.
This seems
How
like a weird disclaimer.
We all have the same topics.
I know. I don't.
What are you searching
It's the
over
same.
there?
You have weird stuff on yours too.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, how can you tell me?
Because we all doing the same stories.
Okay, we gotta.
At least I don't go to dinner by myself.
Oh my God!
Cheers to me. All right, enough. Serious story coming up on DBL. A mother is thrown in jail for grieving her daughter's murder. I cannot imagine. You have to hear this incredible woman's story of healing and fighting for change. Stay with us.
I have at least.
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Imagine losing your child and then getting thrown in jail because of it. Earlier, we sat down with Naisha Beeman, a warrior mom from Chicago who lost her 18-year-old to gun violence. Take a look.
My daughter, Jaya Beeman, was senselessly killed at a convenience store in 2020. I received a call from a friend of mine saying someone had got shot that she knew in the convenience store on 79th and Avalon. I looked at geolocation and she was in the area. I was met with detectives. They didn't give me any information. They just told me to go to the University of Chicago Hospital. And they was like, well, somebody got to go see her, view the body. She was like looked like in a maintenance storage closet and just like thrown there. No post-mortem care, no care, make her look presentable to the family. And when I saw her, I passed out, and it's like I was having an out-of-body experience watching another mom go through it. I heard someone tell that same mom, which was me, this is an inappropriate way to grieve. I was arrested, spent overnight in jail. They was just, mean and cruel bystanders. Like, wait, her daughter just was murdered. And then the detective, he was like, he don't give a F. I mean, it's like it's nothing to them. Shootings are very common in Chicago. We're looking at roughly 700 killings in Chicago, murders this year. Jaya was 18 when she was murdered. She was going to Malcolm X College studying nursing. She wanted to become a nurse like me. I had my life all figured out before I lost my child, but I had to sit down and revamp everything. And this is who I am now. I'm just trying to reach as many as we can. Jaya always was the kid that cheered you on. So I hope she don't think I'm doing too much. That's what she said, but I don't be doing too much.
Welcome to DBL, Naisha. Tell us how proud you were of Jaya, knowing that she wanted to follow in your footsteps and become a nurse to help others.
I was, I never pushed it on her, but once she decided, I was like, yay, because I know that would be a field that she could excel in, and then I can also guide her and help her.
I do have to ask, because you have other children that you love, and I'm sure you're equally worried about growing up in a place where urban terrorism is so prevalent. So how do you deal with that? How do you mitigate that? Like, walk us through like what your fears are as a parent.
My son is 18. He want to go out, explore, be a teenager. I constantly say, hey, you cannot sit in the car, come straight in the house, or don't sit and wait for your friends too long in the car because you can get struck by a stray bullet in the car.
I wanted to ask you this, and most respectfully, what moment do you consider your rock bottom?
The moment you lose a child is rock bottom. But when I was arrested, dragged out of the hospital, arrested by Chicago police, because I was not grieving appropriately, sitting in a jail cell while my daughter was deceased, murdered, that was my lowest point in my life.
Well, you have really taken a very traumatic experience that will be with you for the rest of your life and put that into action. So you aren't just talking about it, you're being about it, because you started Warrior Moms of Chicago and the Jaya Beeman Foundation.
I just felt as though I had to do something. I mean, I'm tired of the gun violence. I'm tired of the senselessness of, kids getting killed. You can't be outside, you can't play. So I started the Jaya Beeman Foundation to instill hope and build confidence in our adolescent and young adults so they can know they don't have to resort to violence.
Well, you've done a lot of the legwork on this, and I need you to tell us what we can do to help.
A lot of the moms, we try our best to get it in front of media so it's something or someone in power can see it and do something about the violence. We take donations, but we want volunteers. We want solutions. We're all we have right now.
We want to thank you so much for putting your heart and your story out there. DBL Nation, you can support by visiting thejayabeemanfoundation.org for more information. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verify no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got a comment for us?
Yes, a lot of people were happy that I'm eating alone and they're trying to as well.
Well, you've done it once.
I've done it once.
You found the exact comments that aligned with you.
No, Courtney sent me these. Okay, she says, Katie said, I've never gone to a restaurant, but I have sat at the bar many times by myself. Something at the bar is like not being alone. So I can try that.
I love sitting at the bar and talking to the bartender. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Jonah Hill is calling Meryl Streep the greatest of all time when it comes to acting. But do you agree? And the best moments from live in front of a studio audience, who made surprise appearances and who returned to their original role. Stay with us.
This new variant, we're looking into the symptoms people get when they're infected. So the question, are the symptoms of the Omicron variant similar to other strains of COVID-19? Let's verify. We spoke with 3 doctors for this question. Dr. David Priest, infectious disease doctor at Novant Health, Dr. Katie Passaretti, chief epidemiologist at Atrium Health, and family physician Dr. Carla Robinson. According to the CDC, on November 24th, the World Health Organization reported the new Omicron variant. It was first discovered in South Africa, and the first case in the U.S. was confirmed on December 1st. Dr. Priest says while it is a new variant, it's still a strain of COVID-19, which is a respiratory illness. Symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, headache, just to name a few.
That will be similar symptomatology, fever and aches and headache and all the things we know with COVID, shortness of breath.
Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Passaretti agree.
We're seeing very similar presentations in terms of the same upper respiratory type infection.
I suspect it will be very similar to what we see with every respiratory virus.
However, all 3 doctors tell us what is still not known is how bad these symptoms can get.
The most important question is the severity of illness with Omicron and whether that differs in the past.
I think the question will be, how severe will it typically be? And those are the things we're going to have to get answered in the next couple of weeks.
So we can verify that, yes, the symptoms of the Omicron variant are similar to other strains of COVID-19. However, the severity of those symptoms is still unknown. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll. Yeah. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Lindsay, and Tori. We got Lindsay here, everybody.
Hey! I missed you guys.
And how now? Kinsley is almost 4 months, right?
Almost. She's going through a crazy sleep regression. I talked to you a lot about it. Jeff thinks this is hilarious because I was like living my life freely, and now I'm like, Jeff, help me. What should I do?
Sam always talk, but it's something that you could kind of complain, but solve a problem at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
But Kinsley's an angel. When I was with her,
Yeah, okay.
that
That's
little
what
girl
everyone says.
did not do a peep. Maybe she just likes me.
Yeah, it just must be you, not me. She's torturing me.
We'll bring our kids to Sam's house.
Yeah,
and drop them off for the day.
You can. All right, so the Facts of Life at Different Strokes came back to TV last night as part of the Live in Front of a Studio Audience series. So for the Facts of Life, Jennifer Aniston received a big applause for her take on Blair Warner. That's Gabrielle Union, by the way, playing Tootie. And then guest stars Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Jon Stewart broke character playing the boyfriends, okay? But everyone's talking about Lisa Whelchel, who kicked off the show singing the Facts of Life theme song along with some of the other original co-stars. You guys have to see this. Oh my gosh! Speaking of OG cast members, Todd Bridges appeared at the start of the Different Strokes episode. Snoop Dogg guest starred as Willis's friend Vernon, and Kevin Hart delivered Arnold Jackson's iconic line, "Watch."
This is my room too. See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts. What you talking about, Willis?
Okay, so Jeff was I'm going to give something away to our audience. Jeff was so into this last night that you had to text our executive producer because you were so, thrilled about it.
Yeah, because my wife doesn't care, right? and so I wanted to text somebody that appreciated it. Listen, I loved this last night. It was so nostalgic. I loved Different Strokes going up. I actually, when I was watching the episode, I'm like, I kind of remember this episode, right?
Weird.
Facts of Life, I watched on and off. But the characters being older, loved it. We talked about that yesterday.
Blair looks the same, though. Let's be honest.
I know, she does.
She looks
impossible.
She has not aged. That woman has not aged.
I know.
Wow.
And of course, Kim
Fields, friend of the show. Yeah.
Friend of the show, but doesn't age
at all. She dropped a little thing for her new movie. You know, Jimmy Kimmel kind of dismissed it. But anyways, back to the show. It was amazing. I love that it was live. I have such an appreciation for live television, live theater, and they crushed it. It was so good. Norman Lear was there, 99 years old.
I heard he cursed.
Dropped an F-bomb at the top.
Oh,
What better way to kick off? Oh, I can't?
No.
Oh, well, at least he didn't say the word.
Yeah, you can't even say that anymore?
No. Nope.
Welcome to talk shows in 20 years. Do you agree? Yes. No. Bye. That's it. I can't say anything anymore. Anyways, I'm over it. What do you think?
What show do you hope to see next be live? A nostalgic show that you grew up with?
I really love Martin. That was my favorite, and I feel like it's easy because it took place mostly in his apartment to do in front of a studio audience. There are other shows that I like, but they seem a little more complicated. I thought that it wasn't going to be that good, but I was pleasantly surprised when I watched it.
Hilarious, right?
Yeah, I would go with Cheers, only because you could do a good studio audience. Or Chris, our other executive producer, was saying MASH would be interesting.
And Three's Company.
And use John Ritter's son and flip over a couch. May he rest. What a great talent he was.
That is
May he rest. Sorry.
We heard the first
It's a series, so there'll be more.
Yes, there will definitely be more. Okay, speaking of series, the new Sex and the City series, and Just Like That, debuts on HBO Max tomorrow. Kristen Davis was on the Today Show. She said the show will address why Kim Cattrall's character Samantha is not on the show. Watch.
We love Samantha. Samantha is never not going to be a part in some way, right? So there is respect for Samantha. There is... it's part of the story.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite the
tease. We would never disrespect Samantha.
All right.
And Chris Noth, who plays Mr. Big, told The Guardian that he found the apparent feud between SJP and Kim to be, quote, sad and uncomfortable. He added that he feels protective of SJP and was not happy about Kim calling her out on social media. Whoa. What do we think about this constant feuding rather than focusing? And I know a lot of people are focusing on the series, but what do you make of the constant feuding?
It feels a little girl catfighty to me. And I don't know if you guys know what that means, but I guess a girl, or if you're a woman, you understand maybe more, but girls were always sort of clashed against each other. You're never on the same team, right? And maybe that's changing this climate, but it was always like cat fights. I hate you. I can't support Sam. Sam can't support Lindsay. That would never happen. We have to take each other down. Well, we love each other and we support each other and we fix each other's crowns. Is that the way?
Yeah,
okay.
but it does feel like Mean Girls a little bit because you were saying even earlier, like they didn't even address Kim Cattrall by her
say
name.
Samantha,
They're like Samantha, and even the way that it's coming up. We talked about you can read energy, and so you can read us being on TV. You can read people being a little phony or not in the mood. so we try our best to show up on our best energy. And it's just like, she seemed like she still has some kind of issue with Kim Cattrall, and she was just trying to be PC about it. Like saying yes, thank you, like you were just talking about. She was doing that whole thing.
So you pointed, I didn't want to point it out, but it seemed like you weren't expecting that question.
It was awkward.
It was very awkward.
I cringed. And to say Samantha, not Kim Cattrall, was very deliberate. We will never disrespect Samantha.
Yeah.
But this girl, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it,
Me
though.
too.
I really am. As much as I'm going to miss Samantha, though. I loved that character.
Great.
I know. Oh, well, we're going to have to tune in to see. So Jonah Hill confused Meryl Streep by paying her a compliment. Jonah, who's starring with Meryl in the new film Don't Look Up, told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show that when he called Meryl the GOAT, as in greatest of all time, she thought he meant the animal. Watch.
We're doing a press conference, and she's like, you know, and Jonah is so comfortable with me, he's been calling me a goat all week. And Jennifer Lawrence explained to her, because she was telling Jennifer about this, how and she's so cool, she wasn't even offended by it. She was just like, I guess he like loves me and is calling me a goat.
That's adorable.
First of all, what a great place Jonah Hill is in life. You're just talking about, I did a movie with Meryl Streep, Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. What? And you're wearing that outfit?
Because he surfs every day.
You crushed life, Jonah Hill. It's over.
But let me tell you, I watched the rest of that interview, and I was thinking the same thing, like, dude, this guy's on top. And I will just say, he went into the self-doubt that went into him being cast next to co-starring Meryl Streep, and he gave a whole take on self-doubt and what the voice is. He's a really introspective guy. I love Jonah Hill's take. He's very into his feelings. I just watched the interview. Great interview.
Who, if you could pick any GOAT, as far as acting goes? Maybe it's Meryl Streep, but who would you pick?
Viola Davis. There's no one better than Viola Davis.
Her cry is epic.
Everything about it.
That cry is like,
no matter what. Her saying good morning, I'm like, she's like, good morning.
I know in her speeches too, like her acceptance speeches.
They kill me.
I think, speaking of Viola Davis, I thought Denzel really took it from me when he did Fences with Viola Davis.
I was going to say that.
Because that was really a one scene situation, and they both like made me feel like I was there and understood the emotions. And I know I've been hearing Denzel since I was younger. All the ladies in my life are like, Denzel. So I think naturally I just had to go with what my mom and everybody was saying.
The woman
Denzel's
that I
the
used
best.
to babysit for was really close with Denzel. So he used to come over and he told me two things that, first of all, he was the nicest guy on the planet. And he told me two things about his acting career, because at the time, her son, Cynthia, who's been on the show before, her son wanted to be an actor. So he told Christian two things that made his movies his own. So apparently he has a broken pinky, and he showed us. His pinky's like this. He will like do scenes so people can see the pinky. Weird.
He makes it part of the character.
And then in every movie he does this to something. So when you watch a movie that he does, keep an eye out. I guess he does this maybe to someone's head, to a window. He always does his little kiss in every movie. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And he's
That's
such
pretty
a nice
cool.
guy. I know. Who's your GOAT?
I like to hear, first of all, I like to hear when people really idolize somebody, how great that they are in real life.
'Cause that's not
very
always the
important.
case.
Not at all.
Nope.
That's very important. And
Yeah.
he's super inspirational. Denzel's a great pick. He is a GOAT. But Leonardo DiCaprio, I love him. Or should I say Jonah Hill's friend? I watch
best
everything.
buds.
There's great actors, but I just seen everything Leo does and like it. And that's not the case with every single actor. He really knows how to pick
And
movies.
look at him with his philanthropy, too.
Yeah.
Everything with
Oceans,
the environment.
yep,
I know. I love Bill Murray. I'm obsessed with Bill Murray. I hope one day he comes on our show. I know he doesn't even have a cell phone.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you can't. If you want to book Bill Murray, you have to call his 1-800 number. And if he decides to hear what he's on his own.
Why don't you call it on the show and leave a message?
That's something that Chris and I have been working on.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll leave as many messages as possible. That'll be a segment.
But like leave one that everybody could hear, so like we could all hear.
Yes.
And you do it.
Yes, we would
What do you
patch
mean
it
a segment?
through.
You need to like prompt her that up.
He wants you to dial it up right now. Put it on speaker.
Right now?
We got to set up with the
Set it
speaker.
up with the speaker. And I don't know if I have his
What's the
1-800
microphone you're
number.
wearing? What do you mean a speaker?
Wearing.
He's not going to answer.
Wearing.
Did I say that like Christopher Walken?
Yes, you did sound like Christopher Walken. All right, coming up on DBL, a man loses thousands of dollars after being conned by his best friend. How a woman was dubbed Queen of the Con in True Crime Chronicles next.
Closed captioning provided by
to a microphone, it doesn't sound like crisp audio that we're expecting.
These guys are thinking like he's gonna answer. It's gonna say, leave a message, beep. Do you need that?
And here we want to hear a celebrity say, leave a message, beep. That's what the viewers are.
I don't even think it's him saying it.
It's a sound alike?
Let's call. What's the number? Hey, what's the number? I'm gonna call her right now.
He knows. We're gonna.
You know it by heart?
1-800-BILL-MURRAY.
No,
it's a 1-800 number.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it.
Oh my God, you're so adamant about this.
Yeah.
I start doing this every Friday.
We are?
Leaving messages.
He's gonna go. That's how Ellen got on the cover of Oprah's magazine.
Yeah, she dresses her for Halloween.
Yeah, she kept asking every week, can I be on the cover? You had never had anybody on the cover. And finally Oprah was like, come on, man.
And Rosie O'Donnell did the same thing a long time ago when she had her talk show about Tom Cruise.
And then Tom Cruise came on.
And then Tom Cruise finally came
Right.
on. She kept saying, I want you to be a guest. I want you to be a guest.
It's a good tactic.
Rosie O'Donnell also said, I will not allow Willem Dafoe on my show because he's scary.
Okay, so I'm putting my request in Oprah. We want you on the show.
Oprah?
We want you on Daily Blast Live. So can that go out there to the universe? That's my one time.
When I was in England doing the Meghan Markle, where I was just at a pub, whatever, I saw Hoda Kotb walk by with Savannah while we were in Windsor, and I go, what's up, Hoda? And she goes, DBL, Daily Blast Live, we know you guys. And I should have been like, yeah. And I went, really? I was so excited.
You gotta be like, humble, but still like, you were very humble. You gotta be cool humble.
I was green. It was a little green. So anyway, that was exciting. But I think Oprah knows of us.
Well, I meant to say that Jonah Hill is humble. I like that.
He is so humble.
That's what you said when you were talking about the rest of his interview.
But he talks about self-doubt, like
with someone.
I know. Kelly wants to take it over.
Don't break
but
up a happy
if you do
home.
watch it, it's all about what your voice of self-doubt, and he almost didn't do the movie. It's really, really cool. He's very open. And remember when Jimmy Kimmel goes, you smell good. I didn't picture a guy like you would smell good. And he goes, why would you say that?
It's up to you.
Why would you do that? That hurts my feelings. Very transparent, very real. Jonah Hill? What is this? I'm seeing you. Is that right? I fixed your crown.
I've been seeing you, Jonah.
Mayor Smith came into the life of reality TV producer Jonathan Walton as an angel, promising friendship in a time of need. But one day, after years at each other's side, Jonathan learned the terrible truth about his so-called best friend. The story of the Irish heiress is today's True Crime Chronicles.
Residents of a Los Angeles apartment building meet to tackle a pressing matter. A legal dispute has barred them from using the building's swimming pool. Jonathan Walton, a resident of the building, discusses with his neighbors next steps they should take. One person catches his attention, a new member. Mayor Smith makes a memorable impression on the group.
Her name was Mayor Smith. She introduced herself as Mayor Smith. She moved into my building in 2013. She came to one of the meetings and she stole the show. Everybody loved her. She was funny. She was vivacious. She told dirty jokes. And she seemed so kind. She went around the room and offered to help everyone.
Soon, the pair begin what Jonathan believes will become a lifelong friendship.
In a very short time, I fell in love with her. You know, as much as any gay man can love a woman, she became like a sister to me. You know, when I confided in her that part of my family had disowned me for being gay, she pounced. With tears in her eyes, she told me, well, my family disowned me too because they're trying to get me disinherited.
Mayor reveals to Jonathan that she is an Irish heiress and set to inherit millions of dollars. But Mayor says the DA has frozen her assets, preventing her from accepting the money. Mayor needs financial assistance until her inheritance arrives and asks for help.
I loaned her almost, $100,000 to aid her legal fight to get her inheritance.
He begins to suspect that the woman, who has been his best friend for over 4 years, may not be who she claims to be.
She'd created dozens of Google Voice accounts to create phone numbers that she would text herself as, and create email accounts that she would email herself as, and show people, look what this barrister emailed me, look what my cousin Finton emailed me. None of that was real. It was all smoke and mirrors.
Mayor Smith's house of cards begins to disintegrate when she makes the outlandish claim that authorities have jailed her for money laundering. When Jonathan digs deeper into her claims, he learns through public records that authorities have actually arrested her for felony grand theft. When Jonathan confronts her, she denies the accusations. Jonathan quickly ends his friendship with Mayer and goes to the police.
I was angry and I went to police and they kind of told me there was nothing they could do. Good luck. So I started my own investigation. I started a blog. I started a website, jonathanwalton.com, just to share my story and warn people about this woman. And sure enough, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, other victims of Mayer Smith started contacting me through my website with the craziest stories of how she scammed them.
Jonathan Walton started a podcast, Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, to tell his story and expose Mayer Smith to the world. Earlier, we caught up with him to chat about the case. Take a look.
I have to ask you, what personality traits do you think that you possess that made her target you?
You see, I've since come to learn, con artists are like sharks. They're not targeting any one person. They're targeting everyone. Whoever is in their sphere is a target, you know, and they do it indiscriminately. So she didn't target me. She just happened to move into my building and become my neighbor. And we had a meeting to discuss this huge problem we were having, and she had all the solutions, and she was so kind and funny and clever and smart, and she was so lovable. Con artists are lovable.
She's conned dozens of people, but you're the only one who spoke out. Why do you think people are embarrassed? Why is that?
I think the majority of con artist victims are, yes, embarrassed. They're shackled by the fear of, what are people going to think? You know, they're scared that people are going to think less of them because they fell for a con. But, you know, as an openly gay man, I came out when I was 30. And I already divorced myself from caring what people think because, you know, the majority of the world does not hold gay people in high esteem particularly. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that fear of what are people going to think. So that never held me back.
What did she take from you that's harder to get back? Like when I asked that, I mean, like emotionally, physically, like what did she take from Jonathan?
Well, you know, I don't trust anyone ever now. I background check everyone new that comes into my life. And even people I thought I knew, I background check all of them. And I found out some pretty amazing things. Not that they're con artists, but the truth of the matter is, when I met Mayer Smith, if I'd have just run a background check on her off the bat, I would have found all these felonies in other states for fraud and grand theft and you know, fabricating documents. She was charged with all these crimes over the years. But how many times do you think to run a background check on someone you meet? You never do, but now I do that for everyone. So I'm forever suspicious of everyone.
How about something for like me and Al and our audience? I know maybe not to run something extensive as a background check, just something to look out for. Are there signs that someone's trying to con you?
They are everywhere. Here's a red flag number one. Kindness. If you meet someone new and they're just super kind and they want to pay for things and they want to buy you gifts and they want to become your friend real quick, there's a good chance you're being set up for a con because no one's that kind. That was Mayer. She was super kind, but you know, she was grooming people to con them. And another good red flag is drama. Listen, bad things happen to people all the time. People's, you know, children die. People get raped at a bar. People get cancer. But every bad thing doesn't happen to the same person at the same time. You know, con artists like to create a lot of drama and confusion, and they like to rope you in because I've said this many, many times. Con artists, they're not smarter than you. They're not going to outsmart you. Con artists outfeel you. They get into your heart. They use your emotion to scam you. So if they can ensnare you in tons of drama and have you care about them and want to help them, that's you know, they're half the way to conning you, because once you start making decisions based on your heart, your brain checks out. You know, love is the most powerful thing there is in the world. And if a con artist can get you to love them, you'll do crazy things to help them because you think you're trying to do the right thing, you know?
Jonathan, very informative. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. And if you'd like to hear more about Jonathan's story, listen to Queen of the Con, the Irish Heiress, available on any podcast player. Jonathan, thanks again, man.
And Jonathan,
Thank you
can
guys
trust
so much.
us.
It was a
We're
pleasure.
safe.
Thank you. Yes, great. That's good to hear.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Jonathan.
This was
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. If you have leg pain, there is relief. So we're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to the CDC, osteoarthritis is the most common arthritis affecting Americans, with the most common areas of the pain being the legs, the knees, and the hips. The best thing you can do is to get moving. Researchers say as soon as you stop moving, your joints actually become stiffer. So try swimming, because getting in the pool eliminates stress on your leg joints. Also, QB is another great way to get moving, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Watch out!
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verify no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Tomorrow on DBL, it's Christmas time with Kyle Richards. The actress and housewife tells us why she almost skipped Paris Hilton's wedding. And why are missing people of color's cases ignored? We talk live with the founder of the Black and Missing Foundation to find out. That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got, Tori?
Okay, so people really liked in the live in front of a studio audience, I can't pronounce CTSA, one person said, we love the retro commercials. And if you didn't know, in the commercials, they did like 80s commercials. Cool. And Alfonso Ribeiro did an Oscar Mayer commercial. It was really well done. So if you haven't done that, I would suggest looking back.
Everyone's craving nostalgia, right?
Really true.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.